Howdy, y'all. I'm Gavin Cash, and I'll be playing Clint Brazos, a scion of the Morrigan.
Hello, I'm Sticker, and I'll be playing Coda Massaquoi, the scion of Bastet.
Hello, I'm Gary, and I'll be playing Oliver Bright, scion of Ogma.
Hello there, I'm Alereg, and I'll be playing Dolgrim Reginnson, the mayor of Anville.
Hello, I'm Overthinker, and I'll be playing Karim Hatem, scion of Set.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I'll be your storyteller for the evening. Good evening, players.
Good evening.
Hello.
Our last episode was a flurry of events stretched out over several days and then months. You went with Shango to Damon's farm, enjoyed brisket and time with dryads. Some of you enjoyed it a little bit more than others, I think. There were important moments of character development. Opportunities to make new friends. And time to work on the various labors assigned to the three of you that didn't necessarily need to be solved as a whole group. We did a flurry of rolls and a collection of short scenes stretched out over several months of downtime, where you were able to work on your individual tasks. Oliver wrote what was meant to be an essay, but ended up being more of a dissertation as an answer to the Yellow Emperor's challenge and labor. Kind of a written fuck you in response to the nonsense that he got put through. Clint spent days and then months developing his mastery of vegetarian Texas barbecue. And Coda began the process of finding someone who is worthy of the property entrusted to her, so that she can hand it off to someone who will use it to do good in the world. We pick up tonight with the three of you meeting up before you head up to Anville. You will have some time to get anything you might have left over that you still want to address done, to have any conversations you need to have, make any contacts you need to contact. Clint, you spent the majority of those months that you were prepping and helping out at Damon's farm and everything, kind of meeting people as they were coming and going. Mm-hmm. You met a number of very interesting people. And my understanding is that you would have basically invited everybody to the party.
If they're a friendly sort, of course, I'd love to have them over for barbecue.
Excellent. You have met a number of scions you did not know before, from all across the spectrum as far as pantheons goes. It seems like very few people dislike Damon. Or at the very least, most of them are happy to have him as a friend, rather than a potential enemy. There are times during those several months where Damon sort of has to corral the dryads away from you so that you can get proper sleep. But overall, it's a pretty good few months. Coda has the opportunity to not only do her volunteer work with the various people that she's checking out to see if they are the type of people she would entrust this place that she's been given to. She also has time to finish up the school year. In fact, we are going to be picking up fall of the next year, those of you who are in academic programs have been given the opportunity to basically take the first semester off so that you can continue to address the labors. You don't know exactly how this was afforded to you because neither of you requested it. It's pretty clear that somebody higher up on the divine food chain probably stepped in and made a couple of calls. It won't hurt your academic prospects. You have been afforded enough income to live off of in the meanwhile. The advantage is that because Oliver is working towards his doctorate, it's a little less show up and go to classes and more show up for very specific moments to work with his advisors and things like that. So whether or not Oliver chooses to take part is kind of up to him. I should say whether or not Oliver chooses to take advantage of the break is up to him. I assume with all of the running around that Coda has to do to spend time volunteering with all these different groups and knowing that there are still several labors that have to be done, probably taking advantage?
Most definitely. And I believe this is the beginning of her senior year, so she's like, thank God.
I mean, you still have to go back and you still have to complete it. You get to take a semester off without there being a penalty for it. Basically, the school has agreed to hold your spot, but not expect you in classes for the semester. You're not signed up for any. Okay. Where exactly? Rather than going directly to Anville, you guys want to meet up elsewhere so that you have time to prep before you go there. You know that Anville, while they are happy to host people, having a metric fuck ton of people with divine blood and divine energy in the same place for an extended period is dangerous. So they generally tend to request that people keep visits short.
Clint will send along a text requesting them to pick him up from Damon's farm.
Thing is, I'm probably also there.
That's fair. So Coda just has to get there.
Yeah. So she probably just makes her way there, to be honest.
All right. Works for me. So that's where you all are when you meet up. Is there anything anybody wants to address? Any conversations that need to happen? You guys haven't really seen much of each other, except Oliver and Clint have probably seen quite a bit of each other over the last few months. But like, you guys haven't seen Coda much for a while.
Coda, have you been? What have you been working on?
The labors and a lot of volunteering and a lot of, getting to know these people and I think I finally made a decision on who I want to give this to, but no, I'm not, I'm sure. I know who I'm going to give this to. And then luckily we got given a break, so it's my senior year of college and I get to not be there for the first semester, which I'm so excited about. Oh my God, I'm so happy. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. What have you two been doing?
I slam 4 binders onto the table. This.
Yeah, and I've been keeping him fed.
Oh. That looks fun.
These are
actually.
It's worth noting these aren't just binders. These are like several inch thick binders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was fun.
It was surprisingly quite fun, actually, yeah.
Yeah, while you take a look at what he wrote here, you suggested corns of ear as the substitute for ribs, and I've been trying it out. And I actually brought a few. Do you want to take a few bites before you leaf through the binders?
I would love to eat.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, and you know what? Since I'm eating, I really shouldn't touch the binders. I don't want to get a mess on the reading material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I'd be so disappointed.
Yeah, you would. Teach. Please show me the ribs.
You don't have to read the binders.
Oh my god, thank you.
I tried a couple of times. I couldn't really understand much.
You really should read it. It's very good.
It's long.
I trust you both that it's phenomenal. I mean, yeah, no, I just trust both of you that it's phenomenal. I don't really want to read it. Especially if it needs to be in, what did they say? Triplicate and sources, and I'll focus on reading the book that Oliver gave me. Or Mr. B gave me.
You can call me Oliver.
But Mr. B kind of sounds a little bit more fun.
You can call me that as well. I don't really have a preference at this point.
Well, if that changes, just let us know and we can fix it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Will do.
Out of curiosity, Oliver, in the, I don't want to say aftermath, but in the months since kind of gaining some more confidence and a slightly more laissez-faire approach to things, have you like loosened up at all in appearance? Like, are you still constantly super buttoned up, or are you a little bit more relaxed?
It depends. About 75% of the time, it's still the full tweed ensemble, but 25% of the time, since we're at Damon's farm, he might not be wearing anything at all.
Well, that's fair, I suppose. I hadn't really thought of that. I was just like, are you like bumming around in PJ pants? What's happening?
No, generally speaking,
it's
he's still Oliver.
Tweed or nothing. I got it. Okay.
It's still Oliver. He's still wearing the tweed.
Noted.
Wow.
Clint, tell us about the barbecue.
Yeah, of course. So I've been thinking about this for a minute, and I've got, like I said, we got the ears of corn ribs, right? And here you can try those, and I was thinking we're gonna have some portobello caps as some burger replacements, right? And I'm only gonna kind of score them, not quite chop them up. That way they still got a good texture to them. All right, and then that's your first part. Then you got to get your jackfruit, and he'll start going deeper and deeper into detail. You got your brown sugar, you got your vinegar, you got all sorts of stuff to really bring out the meaty flavor of the jackfruit, especially when you get it smoked over an open fire, preferably over mesquite to really soak them juices and get that smoke buried deep in there. It's going to be a good time. But I was actually hoping y'all could help me. You see, it takes me a long time to get all the things made, and they all cook at different times and temperatures. I was wondering if you, Mr. B, could help me on the organizing side, and if you, Coda, so kindly would, help me taste and try it along the way and maybe refine the flavors, because I'm not really a vegetarian. I have been for the past month or so, but it ain't usually what I go for.
I can help you keep
Coda
things organized, yes.
has already tried the corn rib, and she's like licking her fingers, and she's like, yeah, I would love to be a taste tester. Just point me at the right direction.
I mean, the way you're licking your fingers, I think that's a good thing. I couldn't quite catch what you said, though.
She'll laugh a bit and go, I said, yeah, I would love to do it. Just point me in the right direction.
Oh, okay. It'll be over towards the table.
Before we get to that, however, another thing I wanted to talk about very quickly, and I'll kind of like pull out a roadmap of the United States and lay it out. Anville is in Maine, correct?
It is, yes.
Yeah, and we are currently in Georgia, correct?
Correct.
All right, just double checking. So we have quite the distance ahead of us, and if we take a correct road, we will eventually be on a route that'll put us through a bunch of just nothing. Just pure empty expanse. And I think if we take a route like that, we could pull over maybe go a mile out or so and plant one of those seeds. If we're going to plant them, which we have to plant them, I think it's best if we do it where there's as little civilians as possible.
I think that's a real good idea.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a really great idea.
Yeah, I thought so. I was thinking it over. I put a few markings and notations on different routes we could potentially take to limit as many, casualties as possible, depending on what these things even do. But since we don't know what they do, I just figured the best decision was to put them somewhere where there aren't going to be a whole lot of people around.
Okay. Great. And then we have like the coordinates just ready to go.
I have a few markings here. We can decide on the fly if we wish to which route we want to take based on, traffic or scenery or just general play it by ear.
All right. Yeah, well, we have to bury these things, or plant these things, so I guess that's what we're gonna have to do.
We don't have to water them or anything, right? Just stick them in the ground.
We are told just to plant them.
All right.
All right. And how many seats are there?
6, I believe, but Clint, you're the one holding on to them.
See. Yep, 1, 2, 6 of them.
All right, perfect.
And this is only for one. The other 5 we'll have to figure out other locations.
Just over the table, how big are these seeds again?
They're tree seeds, so they're about the palm of your hand.
Palm of your hand. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, all right. I don't want to know what these things are going to grow into, but we're sure going to find out.
Clint, out of curiosity, have you just been holding on to them? Have you looked into them at all, or did you just like hide them away so that Ian wouldn't eat them and not think about it?
Yeah, they've kind of just been in his nightstand.
Noted. Okay. I'll make a note.
Cool.
Anything else anybody would like to talk about or do?
Well, we talked about the food of the barbecue, but I also, do y'all have any folks that y'all'd like to call and invite, any sort of friends and family?
I'll glance at Asterobe.
I mean, I'll go. I told you I would.
Just double checking.
I can try and text Net and see if she wants to go, but she may be busy.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's just kind of, it helps the atmosphere when you got, lots of people that you care about around you.
Yeah.
You're the one with all the phone numbers, so figured you would be the one doing most of the inviting. I don't have a whole lot of contacts.
I got a few folks on the way. Yeah, I met a few, and I sent them a few texts to let them know when it's happening. Let them know, you don't have to bring anything, but if you do, we'll happily have it along with the meal, and feel free to celebrate and cook your own foods too. Try and show off your skills. I may have promised them a little prize if they made something really, really good and won a competition, but maybe they'll drink enough to forget about the prize.
Wait, that last part, you promised a prize?
Yeah, just a little one.
Do you know what your prize is going to be?
No.
Clint.
Worst case scenario, I still have that bottle of brandy that Dolgrim gave us.
That's a good idea.
I have some Pop-Tarts left over, so we could just give a
I'm
couple
sure
over.
they'll love that.
Sorry, toaster strudels, not Pop-Tarts.
Oh, here I thought you upgraded.
Oh my goodness. It's not an upgrade, please, Professor.
Booze and toaster strudel sounds like a really good prize to me. I'd be happy with it.
Sure.
Oliver sounds pained.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and let him know that we're about ready to start kicking things off, and I'll see if any musicians can come too. And Clint will whip out his phone and start texting away, including one to his mom.
Of course, he texts his mother.
Well, he's got to invite her to the cookout too, you know.
Noted. Okay. Is there anyone in particular? Are we just assuming everybody that you've met over the last few months?
Literally anyone.
Other than your
met.
mom.
No, there's no one in particular that he's really no one comes immediately to mind. I would like to extend the invitation to Claudia way over, across the pond, if she is able to make it. But otherwise, no one immediately pops to mind at the moment.
All right. Cool. You get a number of answers. Some people RSVP and say they will absolutely be there, including a man named Karim Hatem that you met about a month ago when he popped in to pick up a supply from Damon. Nice guy, very personable, with a great sense of humor, and clearly as much interest in the triads around the farm as you have. So, among others, Lou says as much as he would love to make it, he's already engaged elsewhere. Your mom leaves you on red, but that's not uncommon.
Nope, not at all.
You sound so pained. Damon says he assures you that he will be there. He's bringing in some outside help to watch the farm while he's away, because he doesn't want to leave it unprotected. Most of the dryads will probably stay back. Asterope has already told you that she will be there. A couple of the dryads that you spent regular time with over the last few months said that they will also come along, but the bulk of them are staying.
I'm happy to have them along. After a while, they kind of grow on you.
Oh yeah. That was painful. Yeah, there's a number of people. Most of the Scions themselves RSVP that they will be there because they have a little bit more flexible than the gods that you've met. A little bit more flexibility than the gods that you've met tend to. And all in all, between that and Damon's promise that he will also call some folks, you've got a pretty hefty number of people coming, and a good number of them seem interested in cooking. Claudia says that she will do her best. It's a bit of a distance, and she has a business to run, but if she can find somebody to look after it, then she will be there.
Awesome. Clint will return, will respond politely, and also send along a selfie of him, giving a thumbs up.
Love it. Okay. She will respond with her own selfie, and you're not sure if she did this on purpose or not, but there's a clock in the background that makes it clear that it's like 3 a.m. there when you were doing this texting.
I don't even catch on. Clint will just respond, happy to hear from her, and just continue to respond until she stops responding, effectively having a whole conversation. Asking her how she's been, how things are going, if the weather's been decent, has she seen mom?
After a couple of text messages, she's like, "I'm fine. I'm going back to bed."
Oh yeah, sleep well. I'll see you later.
It's like when it becomes clear that you're just not going to take the hint. All right. Is there anything anybody else wants to do before you leave?
I don't believe anything comes to mind for me.
Yeah. I think Coda's just gonna send a text to Net and just go, hey, one of my bandmates is having a cookout. It's vegan, it's vegetarian. It's so far everything tastes really good, and it's gonna be at Anville. So, you're invited if you want to come. I'd like to see you, but also I get it if things are crazy. Hope you're doing well, and that's it.
So the response to the invite for Net is a thumbs up emoji, which is the most non-committal non-answer you could ask for. But at the very least, you know that she's acknowledging that you sent it, and she's not just leaving you on red, unlike some people.
That is true. Coda just sighed and put her phone in her pocket.
Everything okay, Coda?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
All right. You all pack up. Quick question. Is Asterope traveling with Damon, or is she traveling with you?
I'd probably ask her to come with us if she would like.
She is happy to go along with you. If that's what you want. Otherwise, she will travel with her I don't know what Damon would be considered to her employer.
A ward? Oliver would definitely want her there.
Okay, very cool. All right. You all load into what I'm assuming is probably a rental car. Asterope is in the back seat with Oliver. Who's driving? Clint, I assume?
If nobody else steps up, yeah, Clint will offer to drive.
Does Clint have Dotson driving?
Nope.
Ugh.
Oh boy, okay. Well, let's hope nothing bad happens on the road.
I think the moment we start driving and it becomes apparent to me that Clint does not know how to drive, I will take over.
You gotta put the gear here, you gotta put your seatbelt there, and
Oh, this is so good.
In there.
This is so good and so painful. I don't, y'all. Why is it that I make shows with lots of traveling and half of my players just don't bother taking notes and driving?
Why does this one have 3 pedals?
Oh no! Oh no!
Wait, 3 pedals?
Yeah, it's got a stick in the middle, it's got 3 pedals, and I know it looks cool and shiny and sleek, and we barely fit in it, but, they said it was the good one.
It's probably like an additional pedal to like turn on your wipers or something.
No, incorrect. How about Clint, you just, hop out, enjoy the ride, and I will cover this.
How am I supposed to enjoy the ride if I hop out?
As in the front seat. You can still be in the car.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll sit in the back with Asterope.
Asterope is climbing into the front seat.
No, it's okay. You don't. Oh, okay. All right. I get it. All right. I'll just sit back here.
Coda also ends up in the back seat for reference. Y'all have basically just traded places.
Should not have gotten the small car. Oh, wearing my knees like they're earmuffs over here.
Yeah, and now we have a dragon.
Maybe we should have gotten an SUV, now that I think about it.
For reference, because the dragon has been brought up, Asterope and Brahm seem to get along fine. She's always slightly nervous around him, though.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense, given that she's a plant and he breathes fire.
That was my chief concern when we first brought him here. That's why I asked about it. I was like, what's he doing? Please don't tell me he's burning everything down.
She does seem excited and a little bit nervous, but she's heard a lot of stories about what happens to you guys when you're not at the farm. So you're unsure if the nervousness is because she doesn't leave very often, or because she's worried you guys are going to get her into some sort of insane mess, or both. Probably both, though.
Might be a little bit of both, yeah.
All right.
Brahm gotten any bigger?
Yes. Brahm has grown a bit. He's about the size of... He's probably about double what he was, so there's no more like riding on Oliver's shoulder anymore.
Oh.
But he's still small enough that he can be like scooped up in your arms. He's at like toddler sizes, basically.
He's at that car seat age. Gotcha.
And he's currently curled up between Asterope and Oliver and enjoying getting scritched, but Asterope has kind of made it a point to keep his head tilted away from her.
Copy.
Understandable.
Okay. You all head out. Where exactly along this stretch, Oliver, are you planning to stop to plant the seed? Or one of the seeds?
So, yeah, like I said earlier, basically just trying to pick out routes that will eventually take us through, like, was effectively just an expanse of, like, miles of just, like, dead space so that we can, like, pull over, go deeper into said dead space away from the road. And
open countryside is what you're looking for.
Yes, exactly.
Are you looking to go into, like, a forested area? Are you looking for open field? What conditions exactly are you looking for?
Probably open field.
Okay. That's not that difficult. The biggest flaw with looking for open field is that anybody is going to be able to see it once it starts to grow, but as long as you're okay with that, that's fine. Easily enough done.
Well, now I'm rethinking it, because my mindset was like, if it's open field, then we'll be easily able to see what's going on with it if we ever
You
come
will
back.
also be able to easily see what's going on with it. It's do you want to hide what you're doing, or are you cool with it being out in the open?
We'll keep it out in the open.
There are pluses and minuses to both.
Yeah, we'll keep it out in the open because hopefully it'll be somewhat mass to mortals if it's something psionic related.
And if we notice it's doing something bad, maybe we can do something about it.
Indeed.
Okay. I would like... are you doing this alone? Are you asking for Asterope's help as somebody who is obviously very familiar with how plants work?
I can dig a hole.
Probably won't need our help because we were told to just plant it. We weren't told to do it particularly well, so...
I love that you keep thinking that you're going to weasel out of whatever effects
I'm
this
just
might
trying
have.
to mitigate as much as I can here.
Well, maybe we should have her along. That way we can bury it badly. On
Yeah,
purpose.
does she have any, like, vibes from these?
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you pick up any vibes from this pocket full of seeds?
She kind of eyes them oddly and frowns a little bit and then gives a little shrug. I don't feel much of anything except that they're alive. But that's normal for most seeds.
That is curious. But, well, they're part of the bad deal that I mentioned previously, so we're fairly certain there's something to them, and we need to plant one, so if you would like to help, you certainly can, but I'm not particularly picky about how well this planting experience goes.
I like to plant seeds.
Me too.
So I'm happy to help.
All right. I'm just concerned about these particular seeds, but if you want to,
If
then
you don't want me to, I won't. But you got to tell me, you got to be a little bit more straight with me, because one minute it sounds like you want my help, and then the next minute it sounds like you don't want my help, and I'm getting a little confused.
I'm sorry. Sure. We'll take your help.
Okay.
Oliver, it isn't sure. It's yes and thank you. You gotta use your manners, or else, they start growing distant from you.
Right. Thank you, Clint.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Asterope is holding out her hand to Clint for one of the seeds.
All right. If you're sure, and Clint will hesitate before holding it out and putting one in her palm.
She takes it and then proceeds to wait for you to dig a hole, because she's here to help. She's not here to do it for you. She kind of guides you to make sure that you get the hole to the right depth. Make sure that there isn't a lot of rock around it or whatever when she settles it in. And she tucks the seed down into the soil and then proceeds to help you cover it up. And as she does so, you realize that almost as soon as that top layer of soil is in place, shoots of grass start to peek up from the soil itself.
Whoa.
And then you realize, as it is growing in and she's sort of patting it down and around where the seed is buried, there is also a bit of twig that's already growing directly over where the seed was.
I mean, if that happened in just a second, do we want to stick around, see what happens after a few minutes?
Oh, I won't keep doing this. It's just because I'm here.
Oh, well.
Oh, okay, good. It was because of you. I thought it was the seed itself.
Is the seed growing that quickly, though?
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's just because I'm here. Most things grow faster when dryads are around.
So if we have you here while we're standing around, would that still encourage it to, get a little giddy up and grow up faster?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly, yeah. So we should probably get moving then.
Oh, we don't want to see what it turns into.
No, because I imagine it's not going to be good.
Okay, we'll just leave it for someone else to deal with then.
That's kind of part of the deal. We need to plant 6 of these things.
All right, I was hoping maybe we could learn a little bit more about it before we do the next one, but you seem confident enough. Oh,
well,
right.
My thought process is that these things are going to take time to grow, and it's going to take time before they're grown enough to do whatever it's planned for them to do. And the longer we stand here, the quicker that comes about.
Astrope doesn't seem to be paying a whole lot of attention to your conversation. She is kind of cooing to this little sapling that is sprouting, and running a finger along the bark of it. It's like it's a baby to her. And she's, coaxing it along and trying to give it what interaction and love she can before she gets pulled away. And it seems to actually be reacting. The more she interacts with it, the faster it seems to grow.
All right. Let's get going.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, already? Okay.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, Coda will just take a very quick picture of it and remember her phone to save like the location and where it was and such.
Okay.
Smart thing, Coda.
Astrope looks a little bit sad as she gets up and brushes the dirt off of her hands, but allows herself to be led back to the car.
I'll smile apologetically and then walk back over.
Nothing was weird about the plant once it started sprouting, right? It was just like a normal plant.
Seemed like it.
All right.
I mean, it was different, but it didn't seem like bad. Just seemed like a plant.
Well, hopefully that's that for now. Ian, while we're here, take a good look. Make sure that if we see anything else, you let me know. Like if anything looks like this kind of plant, I guess.
Actually, 1 second. I'm going to turn around, look at the sprout, and then activate Unlidded Eye.
Okay.
Just to see if I'm getting any magic from it.
Do your rolls.
Yes, indeed. That is 1 success. That's all I need because just need to not botch it.
I mean, there is magic. It is hard to tell if it is the seed's magic or if it's magic left over from having a dryad tend to it. Whatever it is, it's relatively low level, and it's not particular, it's not something you can just kind of offhandedly tell is it good or bad. It's just obviously not normal.
All right. That's all I got from that.
Paranoia is glorious to me,
Yeah.
by the by.
So paranoid. Yeah, that's all I got, so.
To your Anville.
Okay. You all continue on to Anville. Takes a couple of days to get there. You take your time. Astrope doesn't get to see much of the world outside of the farm. So you guys, stop off a couple of times so that she can, get a better look at the world outside. At one point you swing by a farmer's market and pick up a little potted plant so that she has kind of something to hold on to, something that feels a little bit more natural considering that she's sitting in what to her is basically a metal death trap. And by the time you guys get to Anville, that little potted plant has dramatically overgrown and is in desperate need of being repotted. Because she keeps it very close to her most of the time you're driving. You stop off at some parks along the way. You stop off at, a few nice wide open countryside spaces, not with the intention of planting anything again, but just to give her time to not be in the metal death trap again. And she gets to enjoy things like walking around barefoot for a little while. And everywhere she goes, there's a little path of wildflowers that seem to follow her, or if it's just dirt, grass seems to grow up around anywhere she walks.
I will say that normally Oliver is very strict about staying on schedule. This time around, no, detours are fine.
A little bit more laid back this time. As long as y'all get there on time, he's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What audiobook are we listening to?
Oh.
I hadn't thought about that. Oliver's going to put on the Wild Irish Girl.
Love that.
That is by Sydney Lady Morgan.
Love that. Okay. When you guys get to Anville, you pull in off the outskirts, follow the dirt road up and into this little picturesque town as you usually do. It is around twilight, so it's too early for the dwarves to be outside. But you can tell that they've been preparing. They were probably preparing the night before. The kind of town square that most of the main buildings kind of are built around has been set up for a party and for a massive cookout, because there are grills and smokers, and there's like a space set up for a bonfire. There's string lights up along the streets, and then up on poles around this big kind of grassy area in the town square. The gazebo is set up to obviously be where the like guest of honor sits, based on what you could see. It's a little bit more decorated. There's a nice big table with a sturdy chair at it, so that it'll be elevated above other things. There's another space off to the side that's set up for like a band, or it looks like it might be set up for a band because of the way the chairs are arranged. That sort of thing. But because it is a dwarf town, and because it is not quite nighttime and the sun is still partially up, it is eerily quiet as you pull in.
Oliver, I think I have a question for you about the setup, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Do you know if Ganesha prefers to be above other folks, or if he likes to be amongst them?
I only met him once, and it was very brief. Sarah probably could have given you a better answer, but from the impression I got, he seemed more like he enjoyed being amongst other people rather than above them.
All right, maybe we'll fix the seating a little bit, so while he's still, the guest of honor, he can have a conversation with person while he's digging into his food. I think that's important.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there's something about just eating with company, brings you all together.
Yeah, right. It's about community. It's about togetherness. It's the stuff that everyone has to do when it brings us all together.
Uh-huh. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Well, we'll worry about that in a little bit. Let's keep looking around. It's kind of quiet.
Well, is it it's morning time right now, or like it's day right now,
No,
right?
it's twilight, so you're at the like tail end of afternoon going into early evening.
Oh, well, maybe they're all just still about to wake up or something, because they're not really one for like lights and such, or daylight, or I guess the sun.
Well, if the sun hits them, they turn to stone.
Yeah.
Correct.
So maybe they're all just still waking up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Let's take a look around, see if there's anything neat before the party gets started.
There's also their network of underground tunnels and whatnot that they could be using right now.
That's true. That's so true. Yeah, let's see if we can find where they kept us last time. wonders.
Sure.
So what are you looking for exactly?
The place that we slept at last time. We're looking for Dolgrim's place.
Oh, that was a Dolgrim's place. That was one of the guest houses.
Okay.
Which there are several. There is one for every pantheon.
Oh, well then let's go to Dolgrim then.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly where Dolgrim's house is in the town.
I remember there was a kitchen. Maybe we can follow the smell of burnt cast iron.
All of the guest houses have kitchens.
When's the last time we were here? We were at Tuaha House. Remember what happens in Tuaha House stays in Tuaha. That's where it all came from.
What happened in Tuaha House?
Well, nothing really important.
What happened in the Tuaha house, huh?
Well, you were actually on sort of
wait, is that when you
receiving
called
end.
me
That
at
was-
like 3 a.m?
Yes, that is
He
when that
called
happened.
you at 3 a.m. in the morning? What was it about?
To tell me I'm pretty.
Oh, so is that what happens in Tuaha house?
Amongst other things, yes.
He was very drunk.
That I was.
And he still meant it.
That I did.
mean, obviously.
Yeah.
What I loved was that he didn't think I knew that he was drunk, but I live with Damon. I know what drunk looks like.
What else happened here? Or there?
I mean,
Sounded like a pretty big party in the background.
Oh, a party.
That might have happened. Got a bit larger than I expected.
it was pretty fun.
It was.
It was a lot of
Entertaining.
fun.
Uh-huh.
But guess what? This one is going to be even more fun because we got you here, Coda. It's going to be a blast.
Oh, dear. Yeah,
that's-
it's going to be a blast.
I fully believe that, but that's where we stayed last time. The time before that, we stayed at a non-Pantheon specific house, I believe.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking, we stayed at Tuatha last time, but now we've got some new friends with us. So, do we want to stay at the Ennead house or somewhere else? Maybe, try it out, see how it feels.
Are we allowed to? If it's not our Pantheon?
Well, we got Coda here, right?
Oh,
The subject?
Pesedjet.
Oh, yeah, I get them mixed up all the time. Yeah, we can check out that one too.
Whichever house you choose,
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
It does that every
you'll
time.
find that the pots have been changed around.
Good morning, Dolgrim.
Morning.
It's not morning.
I mean, for them.
Not
When in
really,
Rome.
from what I understand. I mean, hi, Mr. Dolgrim, sir. I haven't met you before, but my understanding is that y'all don't sleep much.
Not really, no.
Dude,
However-
there's a partying, huh?
Working.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Miss Asterope, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Oliver's right. You are pretty.
Yeah,
She,
he was also there when the phone call happened.
She just kind of smiles really big. She seems a lot less flustered by all of this than Oliver. She's just like, of course I'm pretty. I'm a dryad. This is what we do. We grow things and we're pretty.
To give you guys an idea, Dolgrim right now is not actually standing out in the open. He's actually in the shadow of the Tuatha house right now.
Do you want us to stay there, or are we allowed to, visit the other houses?
So long as you clean up after yourself, it does not matter.
Hey, see, we can go visit.
All right. Dolgrim, would you like us, step inside so you're not having to stand there? This feels sort of rude.
I care not, honestly. Eventually, it'll be time that I can step outside, so it doesn't really matter.
Would you like an umbrella or something?
Let's just step into the darkness.
Yeah, we can do that.
Umbrellas aren't thick enough.
Coda will go to give Dolgrim a hug.
Dolgrim will accept it after like a short pause, like, oh, okay.
Oh, we're huggers. All right, cool. It's about time. And Clint goes in for the hug too.
Oh God.
Once Clint's done giving the hug, I'll just hold out my hand.
Mm-mm. Yeah, if this is starting out as hugs, you're getting one too.
Okay.
He'll do the awkward like handshake hug.
Yeah,
where your like
just as
hands
awkward.
weird, right? Like where your hands get weirdly caught between your chests. You're like, what am I supposed to do with this now?
Yes. It's awkward on both sides.
I mean, once you party together, you might as well be family, right? No sense in having to hold each other at arm's reach.
There's actually some logic to that, I suppose.
So, Mr. Dolgrim, is he as delightful when he's drunk as he sounded?
The smile on his face, but the lack of words speaks volumes.
He just sort of grins at that, looks over at Oliver like, haha.
So we're stepping aside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that quickly.
All right, you all file into the Tuaha house.
And I do remember, Miss Asterope, if you preferred trees, I think. It's been a very long time since we've dealt with dryads up here.
I can turn into one when I need to.
No, for lodging.
Oh, no, I'm okay. I she'll kind of lean in. I brought a pot from home just in case.
All right. We will be remiss, though, if we did not at least offer some hospitality.
I appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. I wasn't sure what to expect, so I came prepared. And you guys will remember when you were packing up to leave Damon's farm, she brought like a big like terracotta pot with potting soil in it, and it's in the trunk of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Though you have figured out that she doesn't have to be a plant in order to rest. It's just the most comfortable form for her. And the one where she seems the most rejuvenated afterwards is when she gets to spend a hot minute as a plant. Do you all file into the Tuaha house? It is as it was the last time you were here, except that it has clearly been stocked up a little bit more in case there is a much bigger crowd of people. And from what you could tell of outside and the amount of seating and whatnot that was set up for the party, they're expecting a decent number of people to show up.
Mm-hmm. While we're heading into the house, I want to very, very covertly check the state of the cast iron skillet.
Oh, the skillet is not here.
No.
It has been replaced with some non-stick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't positive, but you get the feeling Betty probably hid her good skillets when she knew Clint was coming.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you can't find a single piece of cast iron in this kitchen.
How am I supposed to make cornbread on a nonstick pan? This ain't right. I gotta go find me a skillet.
Maybe you should ask before doing that, Clint.
Oh, well,
You did say you wanted people to help.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I don't have to make the cornbread myself.
From what I've heard about what happened last time, that's probably for the best.
All right, I'll let y'all handle the cornbread. I can stick to, the not meats.
Excellent.
Since when is cornbread a meat?
Well, no, it's so, Dolgrim, when I initially pitched the party, I told you it'd be a barbecue. I have to clarify that it is, in fact, a vegetarian barbecue, at least the dishes that I'll be making. So cornbread is a not meat more than it is a meat, but the things that I'll be making are more not meat because they're vegetables instead of meat.
The look on Dolgrim's face is that one of, what? What is this foreign language you're speaking to me? Before he finally processes and says, Ganesha.
Yeah, it's for Ganesha.
Right.
Out of character, because I now have to ask because of the way that some of that was worded. Clint,
Yes.
did you put a rule in place that other people should not bring or make meat at this party? For reference, it was expressed to you that Ganesha holds all animal life sacred.
Right. He advertised it as a vegetarian barbecue.
Okay, so it is implied that people should not bring meat.
Right. It is implied, however, Clint did not think it needed to be explicitly stated, which means who knows?
Okay.
I have no idea what people will bring, but what Ganesha gets served from Clint's plate will be vegetarian.
Noted.
Hopefully others follow suit.
Well, we'll have to see. I will make some rolls and see how accommodating other people are willing to be.
We might have to bounce some folks out the barbecue if they decide to, start slaughtering something.
We'll run interference.
No.
Yeah.
I could do that, but I will, at least on my part, and the part of the dwarves, will make sure that word is known.
Thank you. I tried to make sure it was easy to see on the flyer, but, text messages can kind of cause little artifacts in the pictures.
Okay. Is there anything anybody wants to do before people start showing up?
Clint will send one more text to Mom.
Okay. Anything else?
I guess I'll help unload the pots Astrobe brought, but that's about it from me.
Perfect. All right. You unload the pot that Astrope brought and get it set up in the room that is designated for you in the Tuaha house. After a couple more hours, there is the rumble of a finely tuned car. And out of it climbs Damon and a couple of the other dryads. A little while later, as more and more people start to filter in, you see Scions that you have met from all sorts of pantheons and some non-Scions. No giants, because the giants and the dwarves distinctly don't get along. However, there are members of the Aesir who show up. There are members of the Tuaha who show up. There's some, a bunch of the Devas show up. Ganesha's not with them, but they all seem to be there because he was invited. They're a pretty friendly and slightly rowdy bunch, who immediately start up their own music. Dolgrim, you know most of the people here. You've met most active Scions in the U.S. Not all, but a lot of them. And the few that you don't know, you get the feeling are probably really new and just didn't get relics from you. They probably had relics that were being held for them from their pantheons.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after about 45 minutes of people filing in and this place starting to get more and more busy, a car that Clint has seen before but no one else has seen draws up. Karim, would you like to tell us what you're driving and what you look like, please?
Sure. Karim is driving a station wagon, something old and a little dusty. If one were to examine it closely, they might notice that there's a mattress in the back of it. Karim himself gets out. He's 5'9", dark hair, darker skin. He's currently wearing a zipped-up bomber jacket and cargo pants and big aviator glasses. And as soon as he sees the group, he waves to Clint.
Hey, Karim, yeah, come on over, meet the crew.
Clint, it's good to see you. He goes for the predator high five.
He goes for the full high five.
Into a hug.
Perfect. He goes in for that too. How have you been?
Clint,
Go ahead, yeah.
no, it's good to see you. I didn't know you knew so many gods.
Well, I got to know them over a couple of months, and most of them are only a few, friendly conversations, but a lot of them are good friends.
Still, have you been collecting phone numbers from gods?
Yeah, I may have been doing that.
You are the friend of gods. Clinton Godfriend. This is your name now.
Clinton Godfriend. I like it. I'll wear it with pride.
Excellent. And these are your friends. The Professor Bright I have heard of, and for a second, the warmth in his approach disappears as he turns to Coda. Ms. Massaquoi. It is a pleasure to meet you both.
Oh.
Appreciate, but I'm not quite a professor yet. Nice to meet you. Karim, you said? We actually know another Karim with a different band. He helped us out when we first,
really?
figured out we were Scions.
Yeah, I
Excellent.
thought it was that Karim looking over. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, I am Karim Hatem, Scion of Set.
Oh,
one and
you're
only.
one of you're in your parent is in our pantheon. What are we, like cousins? How's that work?
I'll be honest, I don't really associate myself with the rest of the Scions of the Pantheon that much, so I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, that's all right. We can still be all good friends, right?
well, yeah. I don't see, doesn't really matter. Nice to meet you, I guess, unless you're gonna jump me or something. But yeah, nice to meet you.
Not if you don't jump me first.
No, I won't. I mean, unless you jump me first, then I won't jump you in first. Yeah.
Well,
Well, welcome.
thank you. It looks like you have an excellent party starting here.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to see everyone's getting all prepared and ready for it. You see how many seats are out there?
It's going to be a big group. Have you planned a parade?
I didn't really think of much of a parade, but do you think we need one?
Ganesha has a festival in his own country where there's a massive parade. I hope you have something. I have not been to many barbecues, but my understanding is that it's very much about community and getting to know the people you are with. So,
Alright.
I want to see you succeed, my friend.
I
That is all.
appreciate that. Yeah, Well, I'm all ears. Let's make sure that a good parade happens. Do we need to dress up at all, or is it like a fireworks thing? What kind of stuff does he like, do you think?
I would suggest dancing.
All right, I like that.
A dozen or so brightly colored dancers around you as you bring the meal up.
Okay, all right. And Clint looks around for a pencil and some paper.
Mm. And
I
as
just
you are
reach
making
into
the
my
food,
satchel and grab him a notebook or
Thank you, thank
notepad.
you. And starts furiously writing down.
and as you are making the food, talk to him. Talk him through the process. Tell him what you are doing, why you are doing it, and if it does mean anything, what it means.
All right, talk him through the process, explain the importance. Okay, yeah. Does he have a favorite color?
I wish that I knew.
That's okay. I'll ask someone else. Maybe they'll know. Okay. Write that down.
There's plenty
Ask-
of followers and potential bootlickers here, so shouldn't be hard to find out.
Yeah. Wait, bootlickers? You kind of sound like you don't like some of them.
It's nothing personal, but one must recognize when another scion is trying to curry favor he may not deserve.
Well, I may have been known to brown nose once or twice in my time, so I don't hold them too badly in regard. But I understand.
It's part of the job.
Yeah, exactly. You have to sometimes. All right. Do you like corn?
I like food.
Well, you're going to be having a good time then.
Excellent.
Karim, do you mind if I ask you a question really quick?
Certainly.
You mentioned you're a scion of sets, and I know reality doesn't always conform with the stories that we're told as mortals, but from what I've heard, and I'm not an expert on the Egyptian mythology by any means, that's a rather tumultuous god, isn't it? How does that kind of work in, actuality with the whole pantheon? Since from our experience, Loki is a whole big thing, and we've had to, really deal with that. So I was just curious.
Yeah, what's real? What's not?
Exactly.
Is this a ask the storyteller moment for you, Karim?
I don't think so. In response, he kind of steps onto his back foot, reaches up and unzips the bomber jacket, holds it open, and you see a large handgun, a bulletproof vest, and a scar on his neck.
I'm going to ask politely that we try and keep the party as unarmed as possible.
He zips it back up. I'll put them in the car.
Thank you.
It is worth noting that almost every scion you've seen is carrying a weapon. It's just kind of part of the culture. Nobody is angry. It's just that most people's weapons are also relics. They're not going to let them out of their sight.
You want to know about my relationship with Sets? There it is.
Well, it was less about that, more about Set's relationship to the pantheon as a whole. But again, it's just a matter of curiosity. I don't mean any offense or anything of the sort.
Fair. Who in your pantheon is most responsible for battling the Titans?
That I actually couldn't say. I haven't looked into it, at least not as much as I should have.
That is Seth's responsibility. That is the responsibility of his scions. We are border patrol.
Oh,
We are security.
so you're a great fighter.
He throws a grin that's maybe, yes, I am, and maybe you want to find out.
He said the same thing back. So, I'm assuming yes or no.
I mean, do y'all want to, have a little arm wrestling competition and see who's stronger?
That's
Are you good at arm wrestling?
not especially. I don't I prefer to kill my opponents rather than fight them.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's okay.
That
Coda,
said,
I don't want you
depending
to
on how things go.
I mean, we don't want him getting hurt. It doesn't have to only be me getting hurt. We don't want to hurt each other. Yeah. We don't want to hurt each other.
Indeed.
Yeah. Meeting
But,
family.
After this business is done and celebrated, we should talk about that more.
Yeah, for sure.
Not the hurting each other part, but the skills, and I may have something for you.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Before we start breaking off and getting ready for the party, did you bring anything? I mean, other than what you just flashed at us.
His eyes go a little wide. Right. A donation.
No.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I was talking about food. He calls out after him.
A minute later, he comes back with most of an 18-pack of beer.
Yep, that's more than enough.
Sort of what I had on hand.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is exactly what we need. Thank you, Karim.
It's vegetarian.
Exactly.
Oh, is that true?
Happy to help. Of course.
Yeah. It's going to be a communal thing, so we'll have lots of food, lots of alcohol. If you feel like you need more, just let me know. I can make a beer run or something, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm happy to go. If you need anything, can I brag for a second?
Yeah, of course.
My car can go anywhere in about an hour.
Whoa.
Oh, that is impressive.
Is that like anywhere there's a road or just anywhere?
Anywhere there's a road.
Okay, yeah. So you can't like drive across oceans or nothing?
No, it doesn't. It's complicated.
Okay.
You sort of have to get lost and forget where you are, and then remember that you are somewhere you weren't.
Well, that sounds complicated.
He nods.
Can you show us off? Show it to us a little later? It kind of sounds cool, too.
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
What's hilarious to me is that Karim probably has the feeling that out of everybody in the party, Clint is the one who could very easily forget where he is and then remember he's somewhere else.
Yeah, I think he looks over
that one
it.
dot in intelligence is actually a boon in this particular instance.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe, and he looks over at Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver might be the hang-up for this group.
Yeah. Sorry, if you want to take them for a spin, I might sit out.
Would a blindfold work?
Maybe, actually.
I haven't tried.
Oh, always worth experimenting, trying something new.
It could be fun. It's true.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, am I holding you up?
Nothing comes. I mean, we're getting ready. Nothing too urgent. Actually, I asked Oliver this earlier, and you might have a better understanding of Ganesha. You seem to know him fairly well. Do you think he prefers being elevated up there like that? And Clint will kind of point out to where the stage is, or not the stage, but the dining setup is. Or do you...
just for reference, because I feel like there might be a slight misunderstanding. The gazebo is set up to be the most comfortable place. It's not like he's feet up above the crowd.
Okay.
The crowd is still accessible to him, and vice versa.
Perfect. Okay.
It's literally just a nice shaded place that's got it's obviously the seat of honor.
Is he more of like a drapery kind of person or a plant surrounding the gazebo type of person, do you think?
Plants?
Drapery, certainly. Color
All
is big.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll, Dolgrim, where did you go? And Clint looks around for Dolgrim.
Right behind you.
Oh, fuck. All right. Dolgrim, do we, Heart, needs to settle for a second. Do we have any sort of some drapes and some thin cloth that can hang from the gazebo over there? Something kind of bright and colorful?
We have some tapestries. They're not exactly thin cloths, though.
I mean, are they colorful?
Yes.
Betty might have stuff that you could use. You just have to ask her.
Yeah, let's just spruce it up a little bit, make it pop, make it real bright. That way when the fires are out there lighting and flickering around, you kind of look towards the gazebo and it's like, it glows. It has its own sort of aura of beauty,
And life.
Yeah, that too.
I believe I know what you're speaking of. We can find something.
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course.
Can we get like a little bell on you or something too?
No.
No.
Okay.
He does not mean that, Dolgrim. Oh my goodness, Clint.
Just like pinching the bridge of my nose.
Clint.
Wow.
Boys will be boys. Activate, please.
Clint,
Yep. Spend your point of legend.
I have been a slave once. I
Hold
will
on.
not be again.
Before you keep going, he's doing something. It's a power. It will impact how you're allowed to react. Spend the point of legend, Clint. Is there a role associated with this?
Yeah, I have to roll my charisma, presence, and legend versus the willpower, integrity, and legend of the other person.
All right, do that.
Oh boy.
Wow.
All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oof. Okay.
What did you get total?
Oh right, it's also charisma, so let me check. That would be 5 total.
Okay.
Willpower, integrity, and legend of the other?
Yep, all together.
Just the legend and willpower alone is 11.
No, you have to roll them, dear.
Oh, I see.
That kind of scares me. What's the reroll? Is it a legend or a willpower?
It's a legend.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and reroll that. I
Remind
can
me
do better
again,
than
what's
5.
willpower again? Not willpower.
Legend?
Okay, so it's legend, and willpower, and integrity.
Integrity, yep.
Okay.
It's better, Clint.
Yeah, that goes up to 6.
Wow, Dolgrim did not roll well. Jesus.
I'll
We're doing
reroll that
great
though.
tonight.
SPCs don't get SPCs like Dolgrim don't get to spend legend points for stuff like this.
Moment of panic.
You spend legend points on all your crafting throughout the day, so
Fair enough.
okay.
Clint kind of pockets his hand and shrugs.
You start to get offended, and Clint shoves his hands into his pockets and gives a little shrug and kind of a little like, oh, I'm just a goofy guy kind of smile. And all of the offense and all of the annoyance and anger immediately melts away. And you're just, you realize it's just not, you just can't be mad at the guy.
One of these days, Clint, we're going to teach you how to be not so insensitive.
Yeah, I'd appreciate learning. Yeah.
I'm still just pinching the bridge of my nose.
Yeah, same with Coda. Just like, jeez.
It is about this time that Astrope returns. She wandered off with Betty to give you guys some space and to help bring some of the like appetizers that the dwarves were making ahead of time out, so that people have something to nibble on while all of the stuff is cooking. And she sees all of you and wanders over and kind of slides her arm around Oliver. Her eyes kind of linger for a moment on Karim and then immediately go to Oliver. So when are we starting to cook?
That is a great question for Clint. Clint, when are we doing that?
My understanding is that barbecue takes a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. The slow cookers are going to get started. Well, let's see. We got how long until the party?
Or would you have already started before people started showing up because it was going to take a while?
Yeah, some things would start before people show up. The briskets, the slow cooks would take at least 18 hours. So it'd probably get started.
Oh, goodness.
The day
All
before.
right. So we need to do a minor retcon because I did not understand. You guys showed up the day before and set everything up, and this is the next day.
Perfect.
The next evening. My bad.
It's okay.
So Karim and all of the other people who started to kind of filter in started showing up on day 2.
Cool.
Oh,
Do we
right.
know when the...
Sorry. I was just going to say I was being rude. Astrope, this is our new friend Karim. Karim, this is Astrope, my I'm just gonna kind of look at her like a fish out of water.
She just kind of looks back at you and lifts her eyebrows like she's not gonna save you.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Well, you tell us what page you think we're on.
My girlfriend.
What a day to celebrate.
She smiles in a way that suggests that was the right answer.
I see. Astrope, it is nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Karim.
Hey, Karim, you know what Riz is, right?
Oh, no.
I've heard of it.
He has it.
Exactly. I mean, last time we were here, Oliver wasn't really up to snuff on his Riz, but since he's been here and traveling with us, he's kind of leveled up on it, so to speak. So, if you need any tips or pointers, Oliver's really good at it now.
Oh, yeah. Mr. V is a pro at Riz.
Well, keep that in mind, absolutely.
Yeah, if you need a wingman during the party, wet your whistle and wet your whistle, so to speak, he can definitely hook you up.
Interesting.
It is about this time that there is a rumble of a motorcycle coming up the road. And a small person kind of climbs off. They're in a very tightly buttoned up jacket. They have a very slight build and a full helmet with a face mask on. And when they pull the helmet off, this massive mane of long red curls tumble out. And it's kind of everywhere. It's a total mess because it was shoved up inside of this helmet. But Claudia Lynch seems to have made it.
Claudia! And Clint will very eagerly run over to say hi to her. How have you been? It's been so long. I haven't seen you in a while.
It has
Glad
been
you
a
can
while.
make it.
How are you doing? I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it, but my dad's got away with getting around quickly, and he owed me a favor.
All right. I'm just glad you could make it. What kind of favor? What did you do?
She just kind of smiles.
I got you. I understand.
There's a lot involved in being a guardian for Magmad, so...
Speaking of Guardian of Magmel, has anything changed since we left?
A bit. Things got a bit more active, and the gateway between the two worlds got a little dicey, but I managed to pull together a team, and we're working on it. Trying to at the very least clear the place out. It's an unusual amount of Fenris wolves over there. Which is weird, because it's not like there's anything over there for them to be particularly interested in.
Or at least I thought the same thing when we were in there. Some accosted us, and I found that strange. At first, I thought it was just because we were there, since, we kind of have a pattern with them.
Not entirely sure, but yeah, we've started to make progress in clearing it out. Thankfully, most of the wolves are they seem a bit young, seem a bit small. They're not the ones that you'd expect to see running around these days. So
I noticed that as well. But once we finish up our labors, we can let you know we've done that. If you're still, working on that, we could come by and help if you would have us.
Hi. Something tells me this is going to be a bit of a project. Between the Fomorians and the wolves and an unusual uptick in angry ghosts. It's a lot to do, and it's a big place. So, who's your friend? And she's like walking back towards the group with you guys.
Yeah, well, we got Coda over here, and we got Karim over here. We got Dolgrim.
Hello.
You've met Dolgrim before, right?
Once or twice. And he never seems to remember my name. And she just kind of smiles at Dolgrim.
It's been a while.
Aye, it has.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Nice to meet you. Coda, you must be the famous missing friend I heard about when they were in Ireland.
Yeah, I was over in Egypt doing some work. Pleasure to meet
And I'm
you.
just the guy. Hello.
Hello.
That's Karim. He's, one of my new best friends.
Nice to meet you, Karim.
Likewise. I'm sorry, I didn't catch who you are.
Oh, sorry. This is Claudia Lynch.
Aye, scion of Manan and McClear.
Excellent. Charmed, I'm sure.
I sure was too.
She just has the good nature to blush just slightly, but smiles and kind of inclines her head. Well, I'm admittedly a little bit more of a basic cook and don't know much about your American barbecues, but I did bring a few things that might help the party get started, so to speak.
Well, I'm always happy to have something more along. What'd you bring?
And she wanders back over to her bike and returns a few minutes later and pulls out, I shouldn't say pulls out, has a saddlebag, one of the big heavy leather saddlebag sets hanging off of her shoulders. And she opens them up, and in either saddlebag, they are packed with bottles and bottles of what looks to be Irish whiskey, but not from a label any of you have ever seen before.
Ooh, this is gonna go great. This is also vegetarian.
My uncle, the Dagda, brewed these himself. And
Hakeem takes a moment to glare at his beer.
he sent them along with me. She kind of looks over at Hakeem and gives a little half smile. I didn't make them, and they weren't mine. I just, when my dad found out where we were going, he asked if anyone wanted to send their wishes, because everybody is a fan of Ganesha. Plus, dwarves. And she'll kind of gesture at them. Between dwarves and scions, you need the most potent stuff you can come up with, but
Yeah, but I mean, beer's still nice. It keeps you hydrated while you're drinking the harder stuff.
aye.
Also, from
Certainly.
what I hear, certain people have different preferences. Some people like beer, hate hard liquor, and then vice versa.
And everybody needs a good chaser.
I'm glad.
She'll kind of hand the bag over to Clint.
Yeah, I'll take good care of this.
I've also got this, and she'll hold up what looks to be a small. It looks like a mini guitar case almost.
Oh, well, what's that? And Clint will kind of look at it.
It'll, of course,
Oh, are you going to play for us?
if desired. I
Oh,
didn't
well,
know
of
what the
course.
situation for music was going to be, so no party is complete at home without a fiddle player. So
For sure. I mean, we've got a small stage out there, but there's also, where people are going to be cooking. They'll probably have little radios or just a few musicians playing along. And I mean, my pit ain't got nobody playing music. I'd love to have you over by.
I can do that. Do you play anything, Mr. Karim?
I am afraid not. My education was focused elsewhere.
Education. Coda, do you play anything?
Just the pipe.
Like, is
Oh, you
that like
smoke?
the flute?
No, not an instrument. Yes, I smoke. No, I don't know how to play anything. I mean, I can hit stuff, but I don't know if it's going to be a rhythm, really.
I mean, nothing wrong with little chaotic drums here and there. But yeah, probably best we let the musicians play the music.
Yeah. She'll look at Karim and go, "Do you smoke?
When I can,
Can
Oh.
you today?"
possibly, maybe, certain. Yes.
Okay, sick.
We just
I
got
can
back
help
from
with that.
Damon's.
Astrope just kind of chimes in with, I can help with that.
Oh, an angel you are. Like a fictional
Thankfully, no.
angel.
But
Yeah, a fictional angel, not like the
Yeah,
ones
she
we
looks
saw a picture of.
she looks mildly horrified when you say that she's an angel. Like that's not a compliment in
Yeah.
the world of Scion.
You don't got that many eyes. You're okay.
No, I mean like the fake angels, like the angels, not the.
Well, that's what they really look like.
Well, that's what I said. The fictional ones. You're not like the real angel. Like
in some human circles, an angel is just a being that is good, pure good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
I give Coda a nod.
Thanks. So
We usually say things like, peach or rose or something like that. But if it means good, that's what matters.
all right, you're a rose.
Yeah, that's Peach. Clint awkwardly tries to chime in.
I think in that case it would be that's
yeah,
PG
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're a peach.
or that, yeah.
Needless to say, she meant well.
All right, this would be a great time to start cooking and smoking.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Well, the
Clint,
smoking's already started. Yeah. What's up,
Yeah.
Karim?
I step over to Clint, and I put my hands on his shoulders, and I look him in the eye, and I say, "You have got this. You're going to make more friends today.
Of
And
course
I would like to use lasting impression to give him an extra dice on crafting and art rolls."
Nice. All right. We were about to make some rolls.
Yeah.
Clint,
Mm-hmm.
guest of honor has arrived. And things are about ready to kick off as far as divvying out food. Ganesha is, as I think I described him in season 1 as having the ultimate dad bod. He's a tall guy, broad shoulders. He's very strong, he's very strongly built, but he's built for bulk but not in like the bodybuilder kind of sense. Does that make sense?
He's a big old teddy bear.
More that it's very obvious that he is strong. He's built like a laborer more than a bodybuilder. Yeah. He's got a little bit of a belly, but it's not extreme or anything. He is all smiles. He's excited. He's very clearly loving the smell of everything. The members of his pantheon that are with him are or that showed up before him, are clearly enjoying themselves, clearly down for the party atmosphere. It doesn't take long for music to get going. Claudia joins in with a band of the Deva Scions, and it's an unusual but weirdly pleasing sound to hear an Irish fiddle being played alongside like Indian music. But it works. They very clearly love to dance. They are, and that you realize very rapidly that it is a big part of their culture. And while there aren't any like set dance routines or whatever that they're following, they very clearly kind of have that almost Bollywood kind of style in how they dance.
Told you.
It's great.
And he joins in, does Ganesha, now and then. He's also, he seems happy to have a place of honor that doesn't set him too far above people, but is also, at the same time set slightly apart. It is a showing of respect for his position without putting him in an awkward position, and still allowing him to participate in that kind of party community atmosphere, which he seems to really appreciate. Claudia has the advantage, being a fiddle player. She can kind of wander as she plays, so she does. She kind of wanders back and forth between your pit and where the other musicians are. Sometimes she stops and has like full-on conversations while playing. Clearly she is pretty talented, and is accustomed to doing things like this. But you've also been in enough Irish pubs since becoming a Scion that you know that music and dancing are also a pretty big deal there too.
Of course.
So that's a whole thing. There are multiple teams who have formed around the different barbecue pits that are going on. Everybody is doing something slightly different from one another, but everybody has been polite enough not to bring meat. Or at the very least was intercepted if they had meat and did not actually bring it and start cooking it.
At a certain point, Karim went up to a guy and said, you can't have that here. I know you know. Yep, turn around. Go away. That's right. Keep going.
Thanks, Karim. I couldn't bring myself to tell him off that way. Handled it a lot better than me.
Shrugs. Does nothing.
Okay. I would like... I would like Clint to make me, because you've been at this for over 24 hours now, make me a stamina and craft culinary roll.
You got it. I got that bonus going too.
You do.
Also like to apply a virtue of expression.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
How many dots do you have left in your different virtues, out of curiosity? Because you've been using them quite a bit.
I've got 2 left in expression, 1 in piety, and 1 in courage.
Okay.
What's Clint doing in conjunction with craft culinary? What's the attribute?
Stamina.
Stamina. Okay, yeah, no, can't help.
Miss Massaquoi.
Yes.
He knows not to mention me to Ganesha, right? Feel like that would go over poorly.
I would say if you ever wonder if Clint knows something, just go right on ahead. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I remind
good.
Clint
So that's 8, and then 3 from Epic Stamina. So
Very
11.
good. So that's 11.
Ooh.
Very
Damn.
good.
All right. Make me the same roll 2 more times, please.
You got it. Do I take away the virtue stuff?
Yeah, you can't do the virtues again. I will give you the bonus, though.
I would also just like to point out, even though I don't think it's going to affect anything, that my job was to make sure Clint stays on focus while he's cooking.
Yep, I could. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, before you roll, Oliver, make me a charisma and presence roll.
Okay.
And you can give half of your successes and bonus dice to Clint because your job is you're basically being the coach. You don't know much about cooking, but you can keep him on task.
3 successes.
All right. Clint, you get 1 extra die from Oliver and 1 extra die from Karim on your next 2 rolls.
Take it. Thank you. So that's 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 7.
So
11,
8,
7, 7.
so 25 total. Not bad. Coda, during this time, what are you doing?
I believe Clint told her to taste test / make sure things, are good and ready. So I would say she's taste testing, but at the same time as things are being finished, she's starting to set them out on the table to make space for more food to cook. So she's kind of like the carting things, but also being like, yep, that's good to go. And and moving things.
So you're in the finisher. You're the finisher, basically.
Yeah.
The expediter.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with.
Oh, careful. Don't trip over him.
Oh, I am very dexterous. You don't got to worry about that.
Let's go with Dex and Awareness. Make that roll twice for me, please.
Twice. Dex and Awareness. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ooh. 1, 2, 3.
You can burn Legend to reroll if you want to.
Yeah, I will. Let's cross that out. Okay. Take 2. I'm not sure if that's better or worse.
That's worse.
That's
Oh, no.
worse. Oh, no. All right, well, the first one's worse then. Yeah, so that is 1, 2, and then I have 2 in dexterity, so that's 4.
Okay, well, you didn't botch it, and that's good.
That's the first one, and then second.
Ooh, there you go.
That's a little bit better.
Yeah.
So then that's 5.
Okay. Cool. Coda, you're a little overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. Pele was with you to start out with, but he kept nearly getting stepped on because there was just kind of no safe place for him. He would hide under a table and people would sit and their feet would be in the way. He'd be out in the open and people wouldn't notice him and he'd nearly get his tail stepped on. And eventually, halfway through, somebody stepped on his tail. You heard a meow. And then he took off and you have no idea where he is now. Just that he's nowhere near you or the rest of the party from what you can see. So you're kind of spending a lot of time keeping an eye out for him. And so while you are doing your job, you are not as focused as you intended to be.
That checks out.
All right.
I think she's also has her eye out to see if Net walked in too. So she's
Net and her crew have not shown up.
Yeah.
You do get a text message from Karim, where he's the other Karim, where he says, "I'm really sorry we couldn't make it. We were trying to, but it looks like all of the congregation over there has stirred up a little bit of a hornet's nest, and we're busy dealing with the fallout. You guys have a good time. Save us some leftovers. We'll pick them up from Dolgrim when we can."
Yep, she just one-handed while carrying a tray of stuff is like, cool, no problem. We'll definitely make sure to save you stuff. Stay safe.
And he sends you an additional picture, and you see, it's a picture of Net, and she is going to town, like in the middle of like 4 or 5 wolves.
It's hot.
It is a little bit hot, yeah. Okay. Who here is drinking during the party? I already have the results of your cooking rolls. That will not impact that. But who is drinking once things start to get into the like full-on party and you're less concerned about the food?
Oh, you best believe I'm taking the drinkers 3. Maybe more.
Oliver sees himself as like technically on the job, since this is part of a labor, so he probably won't drink on his own.
This is after the majority of the labor is over. The cooking is done. You can't really do anything else. It's about like the experience of the barbecue party.
Yeah, it's the party time. You gotta have a drink with your food.
Mm-hmm.
It's an important part of the process is the community.
I'll have
Can you create
a few.
community?
I'll have a few, but I'm not going to get horribly intoxicated.
Coda?
Coda will have 1 drink and will actively go, I am now of age to have a drink. So I will be having it, but for the most part, she's smoking. Because she also doesn't really want to drink anyways.
Okay. Coda, you end up not just smoking, but smoking a strain that Asterope kind of reaches over and enhances with a little brush of her fingers. And then she just kind of puts her finger to her lips like, don't tell anybody. I would like all of you to make stamina and fortitude rolls. That includes Karim if Karim is smoking or is drinking.
Come on, Karim, have a few.
Not a huge die pool.
How can I say no?
2 successes.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Oh wait, yeah, I'll re-roll it.
Oh, Karim, does Karim really only have 1? No,
It wasn't even a D10. It was just a 6.
a 6.
Just the number 6.
I was so confused. I was like, what is happening?
That's better.
That is much better.
That's worse, Clint.
And I have a point of epic.
Okay.
All right, my updated roll is 4 with my epics.
Okay, so 4 with your epics. Karim rolled 4 plus 1 epic, so that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
What did Coda get?
I think I have no successes.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
Coda,
that's 0. That is a straight up botch.
Oh my god, hold on. You do
I have no epic.
Oh, and you have no epics. Oh, you poor thing. I'm so sorry.
What did Asterope do?
Blazed.
Oh god.
Coda
no.
wanted that good shit, and Asterope gave it to her. It turns out Coda was not prepared.
Y'all, I can smell colors.
So Hakeem will now be spending part of his evening making sure Coda doesn't wander into the forest, never to return.
Oliver, what did you get?
2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dolgrim got 1, 2. 2, 3. How many epics does Dolgrim have? So Dolgrim got 6. Excellent. Wow. All right. Coda, let's start with you. Because wow, you poor thing. Poor baby. So you take a couple of puffs and you don't feel anything at first. And you're like, that's weird. I should feel something. And then you realize that you don't. Not only did you not really feel anything, you don't feel anything.
Oh.
And you realize that most of your body you feel a little bit disconnected from. You're feeling very light, very floaty, very chill. You feel the way Damon almost always seems. Except less competent about it.
Yeah.
But you get it. You understand why Damon always seems blazed, because this is a good feeling. This is nice. You're at a party, there's all these cool people around. You get up and you're dancing with the members of the Deva Pantheon badly. But they seem delighted that you were joining them, so it's okay. At one point, you do kind of start to wander away from the party, and then Karim sort of appears at your elbow and physically turns you back towards the party.
I think the plan was that we were going to smoke together. Did we smoke together, or did we get separate stuff?
You
That's true.
That's valid.
So you got 5 successes. You're fine. Yours is also not as enhanced as hers is. Asterope is a personal friend of Coda's, and you've been a little awkward with Coda, so she was not as nice to you. She was polite, but she didn't give you your bud the treatment that Coda's got. So,
all right.
Coda, while awake and fully vertical, she's got that stoner face, her eyes are just missing. They're just not there anymore. But what you have is good. It's the standard fare for most Scions from Damon. So it is good shit. It's just not extra enhanced. And now you realize why the dryads help to grow the weed, which makes it stronger, but they're not necessarily the ones who handle it after it's been grown. They don't go around giving everybody the magic touch, so to speak.
Come on, Skywalker, let's get you back to the party.
Skywalker?
Yes, because you're floating.
Am
on
I?
A cloud.
Did I get that ability?
How do you get up there?
Wow.
All right. Clint, you got 4, correct?
Correct.
So Oliver got 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver, you've not been smoking. However, Claudia made it very clear that it was a matter of honor that you had to have some of the whiskey brewed by the Dagda.
Mm-hmm. It probably started as a very polite thing where Oliver's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a few drinks. Sure, I'll have a bit of the whiskey, but then the Irish blood came out and he just kept drinking and didn't even realize it.
And she was happy to enable that choice. And before you know it, you are about where you were at the party at the Tuaha house last time you were here. In fact, if Asterope wasn't right there where you could watch her being pretty, you'd call her to tell her that she's pretty. Mm-hmm. Instead, she's up and dancing and mingling with the crowd and whatever, and occasionally you get up the gumption to yell that she's pretty across the party.
Yeah, sounds about right.
which she takes with grace and a smile and blows you a kiss. And then eventually, at one point, you get the bright idea that you were going to attempt to step dance to Claudia's music, which ends about as well as you would expect it to.
Mm-hmm.
Not as well as it did for Lou, as it turns out.
Post that, I'll decide, that's not for me, but I'll stumble my way over to Asterope. Like, so at the risk of embarrassing myself more in front of tons of people, would you like to dance?
I would love to dance.
Oh, thank God.
You know how to dance?
No, not even a little.
Okay, well, I'll do my best to lead then.
I think Karim is going to give him like a "you got this" over the shoulder, and also enhance his ability to do art and craft and stuff.
Let's give a thumbs up.
Okay, Oliver, make me a deck and performance roll.
Where is that?
I don't think you had, or art roll, sorry.
Okay, yeah. I actually have a point in art, so.
You do. It's for calligraphy, though.
It is for calligraphy.
So you don't get to use that. I suggest that you channel one of your virtues.
I was going to ask if I can use expression.
I would allow that, yes.
Okay, awesome. So no die for the art, correct? Because it's not dance.
Correct.
All right, cool.
Does he get the extra from me though?
I believe so.
Yes.
Sweet.
Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4. No epics get to be applied because I'm not proficient in dancing. But still 4.
4 is still pretty good. With Asterope there to lead, and Karim being a supportive friend with a thumbs up over her shoulder where she can't see him, you are able to stay on your feet and not step on hers, which seems like the most important part in this exercise.
I'm just lost in her eyes the entire time.
Perhaps the biggest downfall in all of this is the fact that the music is actually pretty upbeat, but you are plastered enough that she does not feel confident in pushing you to dance quickly. So it's a little weird that you're slow dancing to fast music, but it's fine.
It's fine.
Everybody gets to watch Oliver making dreamy eyes at his plant girlfriend. All right. Let's see. That leaves Clint and Karim, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Clint, you feel pretty good. You're a little bit tipsy, but you're not nearly as plastered as you thought you might end up.
All the better to deliver a toast then.
Oh boy.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's raise our glasses and hearts to celebrate in honor of the magnificent Ganesha, remover of obstacles, patron of intellect, and embodiment of wisdom. Here we are amidst the aromatic smoke and sizzling flavors of this Texan vegetarian barbecue, a testament to the richness of culture and diversity. Just as this feast gathers a bounty of flavors without meat, Ganesha teaches us to embrace the abundance and harmony in all its forms. Excuse me. In this gathering, we recognize the unity in the diversity, just as Ganesha stands as a symbol of unity, welcoming all beliefs and paths. May we take inspiration from his teachings to overcome obstacles, foster knowledge, and ignite the flame of creativity within all of us. So, let's savor these delectable vegetarian dishes, honoring the spirit of our great Ganesha, and may his wisdom guide us in our journeys, clearing our paths of bad things and filling our lives with joy and prosperity and compassion. Cheers to Ganesha and the joy of sharing this delightful meal together.
Here, here. Oh, we said the same thing.
There is an uproarious cheer. I'm not even gonna make you roll for how that goes over because that was very good. There is an uproarious cheer from the Deva specifically. You hear Coda and Karim, who are kind of off to the side a little bit, where it is clear that Karim is keeping Coda from just completely like smashing onto her face. You hear them call out, here, here. Claudia gives a big whoop. And generally, your speech goes off without a hitch. Everybody loves it, including Ganesha, who seems honored and pleased with the bounty before him. And you can kind of feel the weight that settled onto your shoulders when you were given a labor that was kind of just yours. And your responsibility, and intended only for you. You can feel that weight lift. And kind of knowing...
Sorry, it may have been intended only for me, but I got to share it with the folks that it matters with.
You did, but you were responsible for putting it together, and you did a fantastic job. And the weight that settled onto your shoulders and kind of onto your soul when this task was bestowed upon you lifts, and you know that the labor is considered completed.
Time to get even more drunk.
Before we get to that, Karim, you feel good. You have a lovely buzz going. You are nice and relaxed, but not so far gone that you cannot fulfill the role of attendant that you have kind of been thrust into because Coda apparently can't handle her shit.
Got a little stoned, which took my vigilance from hyper to just very. And then I've been dutifully drinking those beers, which basically have no effect on me. So yeah, I give the professor the thumbs up. I catch Coda on her way out. I shout my cheers. And I think, yeah, as me and Coda are like, we found a bench somewhere, and I've given her a water bottle. Like, how are you feeling? Tell me about it.
Pretty good, you know? The last few days, weeks, months, almost a year now, I've felt like a lot on my shoulders. Some of it makes sense why it's on my shoulders, but just concerned and worrying about forgiving people and redemption. And then, I'm just always so angry sometimes, but then, you just sit back and then you just inhale and you exhale all the stress off. And, I feel great today, What
do you think is the biggest stress that you just let go of? Is there anything that we're feeling good? Sometimes stress can cloud your vision of a problem, and then you don't have the stress. You can just be done with it.
Oh. Well, I was kind of, I'm in a relationship, but I don't want to be that person that just talks about their relationship wasted at a party.
We're going to be sitting here for another half hour while you drink that water, so we should talk about something.
Oh well, it's just. I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. Cause I just worry that maybe, I just worry that maybe I'm just not the right one for her. But, I think it's just because I'm just so unsure in what I want to do, and I just sometimes think like maybe I'm just not enough. Like, why am I the scion that's mixed up in all of this? Like, who am I to decide that someone's like worth being saved or not saved? Or, like justice is hard. Like, how do you get to choose who gets to be redeemed or not? But also, people should be given a second chance, right? You think, right?
No.
Do you? No.
He's smiling. I see the value in where you're coming from, but with what I do for Set, there's not a conversation. It's not really on the table for the people I deal with.
Well, who do you deal with?
Frequently Titan spawn.
Well, and that's the crazy thing. You know what? Because here's the thing. When I first got woken up or whatever, awakened,
Mm-hmm.
we saw
Recruited.
Whatever.
Karim, you would know that there are different terminologies for how scions become what they are. Typically, it's a visitation where their parent shows up and gives them a gift, and then they become a scion. But the term awoken has been thrown around a lot in the past 10 years or so, because the Fenris Wolves have found ways to find people who have the potential to be scions but aren't yet scions, and force the Ichor in their veins to awaken early without a visitation. So her saying before I became awoken implies that she didn't get a normal visitation. Her visitation probably came after, which means that she's one of the very rare few who survived an encounter with the wolves.
His eyebrows rise.
She does not pick up on this. Yeah, when I got awoken or whatever you want to call it, it hurt. But along the way, we saw like a Titan spawn, but they were like in a grocery store doing like regular stuff. They were just dressed to be different or whatever, and they weren't like hunting us like all the wolves and stuff that's been hunting us or whatever. They were just like a regular person. So should they, the first time we see them, just be killed right on out? No, they should be able to be given, I don't know. No, I do know, but I'm just not sure. People should have a second chance. Or a chance.
Like the one you helped.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name?
His name? I always mess it up.
I think the Iceseer have him now. Which he shrugs. I mean, I don't see how that does him any good.
Well, he's taken time to think about all the stuff he's done. And, getting a little burnt along the way, And
right, I just mean his thinking isn't going to help him in the long run.
Why?
Well, the Iceseer, they don't really keep their deals a lot of the time. If he ever gets out of there, I'll be surprised.
Well, he will get out of there. That's why we're doing all of this.
Right, because you trust the Iceseer to pay their debts.
Yeah.
He nods.
And we'll hold them to it.
Another big grin. Absolutely. You will hold them to it.
Why are you grinning? Why are you talking to me in puzzles? I don't like when people talk to me in puzzles. Don't make me get upset when I wasn't upset. I was feeling real good.
And it's a good party. You should feel good. You all have done a wonderful job. I'm sorry. He gets up and takes a few steps. I have a different experience of this life that we lead than some.
Uh-huh.
You may notice that I came here alone.
Yeah. So you don't have a group? Is it normal for people to have bands?
Seth wants me alone. He wants me alone, he wants me working, and I can't tell him no.
Why?
He prefers it.
Are your other siblings or whatever, are your other siblings also kept alone?
I assume so.
Oh, respectfully, fuck that noise. Like, you can...
Indeed. May
Like-
it be fucked.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I respect my mom, of course, because, like, I mean, first of all, she could see almost everything I do. There's literally stray cats everywhere. But, like, what's gonna happen if you decide to be with someone else? Like, if you decide to get a band of your own, or, you know?
I
like,
would like to tell you, but to be honest, we just met. Someday I will tell you the story of my visitation, and then you will understand.
Huh.
But I have enemies. I don't think any of them are here, but I'm still paying attention.
Huh.
This is the life that Seth wants for me, and this is the one that I am in.
Well, I've been studying, and Seth, I know you're not, like, your dad's whole thing, as I've read in books and studying, like, y'all are just called evil or like disease or stuff like that. Is that why you have people out to get you? Is it kind of like the Loki situation where people just don't like their kids? Like, what's... Because again...
The Loki situation, not quite like that.
Huh.
It's... Some say evil when they see what we have done, what I have heard that we have done. But we do it to people who would do it to those who cannot defend themselves, and I do it to people who can defend themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what do you do? Where you just kill them?
This is a good party. I don't want to get into details.
Well, are you staying?
I can. I just not like I have anywhere else to be tonight.
Well then, yeah, maybe when things die down, we can talk a little past the party. I want to know. Because...
All right.
People don't like you because of the ancient history, story, yada, gobbledygook. I don't care.
Not just ancient history, but thank you.
I know, but... See, but this is exactly what I mean. When people will just... Okay, so you said you heard people that can defend themselves. Is it because they did something bad? Did they, or quote-unquote off bad? Are they hurting people? Are you like a defender? What's your...
Yes and no. Some of them have done bad things. Some of them show leanings toward doing bad things. Some of them have tremendous potential for bad things. But usually the first one.
Okay. I agree with, like, one of those that you said, because what do you mean someone has the potential to do bad things? We all have the potential to do bad things.
Well, imagine this, and he'll sit back down on the bench. Imagine this. There is a group of powerful individuals, and they are warlike, just by their nature. And one of them perhaps the best of them. He starts out good, but he's eager to please. And he goes to the leaders and he says, "What do you want?" And they say, "Hunt with me." And he hunts with them. And then he's becoming stronger. He is the best of them and the strongest. And over time, he becomes stronger and stronger. And becomes more and more in line with what they want. To fight, to kill, to rule, to take what they want and damn the consequences. At what point, before that individual becomes unstoppable, should someone step in and stop them?
Well, have they done anything wrong yet?
By the time they begin doing wrong, nothing will be able to stop them.
Every and anyone can be stopped.
I do not agree. Let us say for the sake of argument.
Okay.
What would you do?
What would I do? I guess... I'm too high for this. What would I do?
Indeed, drink your water.
she'll sip the water and then just go, I guess I would... I don't know what I'd do.
Honest, at least.
Yeah. Because I need to know. I need to know and talk to the person. I need to know more than just this person has gotten strong and whatsoever. I need to know what are their intentions.
They were kind, but they are easy to manipulate.
Well, then I'd surround them with people that would be a better version of manipulation. You know, like instead of making them do, I guess, whatever bad things.
Take them from their tribe. You would grab them and push them into a new life.
No, not take them from
Because I've done that, and it can work, but not usually for very long.
Huh. You know, I'm gonna have to think on that one. I guess I see what you mean now. What you're doing.
Sometimes the challenges before you are impossible and you have to do something.
Yeah.
All right, my munchies are kicking in. How about you?
Yes, please. I've been eyeing a lot at the food on the table, but I was waiting for the guests to eat first.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go get some. Oh, where's your cat?
Oh.
Can we look around for the small god?
Sure. If you would both give me perception awareness, you can attempt to find the tiny god.
Perception awareness.
And I will roll behind the screen.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5.
Four on the dice. What do you have for epics?
Just one for perception.
So 5 for both?
Yep.
Yeah.
It takes a hot minute, but eventually you find Pele. Pele is up a tree. And watching over the party, but is pointedly avoiding the floor. And his back kind of arches and his fur puffs out a little bit when Karim gets close.
Hey, Pele. Do you want to come down? You could sit on my head or shoulder.
No.
The party?
I do not want to come down. I will watch. There are too many people. I kept getting stepped on. And
Well,
you are barely upright.
Right. That's true. This is Karim. He's our friend. Yeah, I don't think we're technically related. I don't really know how the gods work in that way.
You
So, yeah.
are technically related.
Oh,
Well-
shit.
But it is a convoluted connection. Karim, you cannot hear Pele.
Oh.
You're also quite accustomed to cats not reacting well to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the disadvantage of having a dad who is associated with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see,
Pele was always kind of iffy around Lucas too, for that reason.
Oh.
is he all right?
Yeah, he got stepped on. So he is staying in a tree, and he pretty much was like, I'm barely standing upright, which that makes sense. Although I'm standing upright, that's just how Pele
True.
talks.
Hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to like you too much also, but it's a tiny god.
If I cared about people not liking me, I'd be a very unhappy man.
Hey, that's what I say. Well, I care about some people's opinions now.
Your friends, for example.
Yeah, she'll look over to wherever her band is and whatever they're doing.
They're a little spread out at the moment.
Cool. So then she'll look over to and find them in the crowd and then look back and go, yeah, I care about them.
Good. Let's go find Godfriend and see if he's drunk after his speech.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody want to do anything else during the party?
Yes. Probably but post dancing with Asterope, I will very stumbly drag her off to the side and just be like, oh, hey, right, I noticed earlier I meant to ask you, you seem a bit unsure about Karim. Was it because, he's a Scion on a set?
Not exactly.
Well, how do you mean?
She kind of scratches the back of her head and looks a little bashful. We've met before.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did he do something bad?
Nope. Just probably best we don't talk about it.
Okay. Sure. If you say so.
She'll just kind of rub her forehead. It was before we got together.
A little confused for a second. Oh. Sorry.
I just didn't want to make things awkward for you with the new friend, is all.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry for forcing that out of you. I did not mean to make things more awkward, but yeah, that's fine. You had a past before me. I was fully aware of that, and I was fully expecting you to have a future after me as well. That's why I was really scared for a while of making any sort of move. But yeah, no, things happen.
It was only the once. Still Dryad. Kind of didn't mean a whole lot at the time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
For what?
If I had known he would be here, I wouldn't have come.
Oh, yeah, that's... if you want, I can try to run interference, make sure you two don't spend too much time together, if you don't really want to see him.
He's okay. He's been very polite, and that's what's important. I just didn't want to, have something come up in conversation and that be how you found out. I was gonna wait until tomorrow after all of this was over and everybody was gone, and you got to have your pleasant night, but
Esrovi, you have no reason to apologize or be upset or embarrassed or anything, because you are your own person. You can do your own things and have relationships with other people. It's not dictated entirely around me. Just because I haven't had any experience before you doesn't mean it has to be the same with you.
Well, sure, but you're my boyfriend now, and most, at least from what I understand, most boyfriends in general, but the TV suggests that most human boyfriends definitely don't like hearing about interactions their girlfriends have had before them.
Well, do you plan on doing it again while we're together?
No?
Then I have no reason to be concerned. I trust you implicitly.
Okay. You're much more understanding than the people on TV.
I try to be.
You're very cute when you dance.
I try to be.
Well, you succeed. Oh, look, Karim and Coda are coming over. Great.
It's gonna be okay. If you want to get out of the situation, just squeeze my hand twice and I'll think of something.
Hello.
Okay.
Professor!
How are you feeling, Coda?
Light as a feather, you're heavenly. Wait, sorry.
Again,
you're
in a flattering way.
in a flattering way.
Also, still not technically a professor.
I'm sorry, I think it's the glasses or... Somebody calls you professor though, right? I'm not wrong about that.
Coda calls him Professor.
Oh!
And so does Clint sometimes.
Yeah.
I think Clint does it more, but Coda's done it a couple of times too.
Yeah, I can't really shake them off a bit, so I suppose it's fair if you do it as well.
You should just accept the moniker. You can be like their Professor X.
Eventually you're... Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You should cut all your hair off, Mr.
I don't know who that is.
You should not cut all of your hair.
I'm not. Don't you worry. I'm not doing
your
that.
hair off.
You can get
Absolutely
clippers. This is the
not.
place to do it.
No, absolutely not. I like his hair right where it is.
I like my hair right where it is.
But that's where it is. Godfriend knows enough people that when he starts saying it in a text message, people just know.
Yes.
He does text a lot.
About, I want to say, 70% of those texts are to his mother.
Aw.
She doesn't respond most of the time.
Not that I mind. I was glad to get an invitation, but never mind. Just, Professor, remind me tomorrow if I forget to discuss operational security.
Operational security. I'll keep that in mind. What do you mean by that?
Sending too many texts to the wrong Scions can give the wrong information to the wrong people.
Right, yeah. We've had a similar situation of that we had to avoid. He was trying to get a phone number from someone who is directly opposing us, and I had to enlighten him that that was not a good idea.
Oh, who?
This rogue Scion, Gwen Chambers. She's working for the Titan Spawn right now.
I've heard of her.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but she's apparently quite a maniac.
He sucks.
We've had 3 run-ins with her. The first time she dove through a window and threatened us with knives while her wolves tried to kill us. We survived.
Yeah.
The second time was an actual peaceful negotiation meeting. It didn't go very well. She decided to torment me. I got better. And the third time was recently during another meeting, and it didn't go well either. But it was weirdly benign.
And the godfriend is trying to be her friend.
Yes, that's when he first met her during the third meeting and tried to get her phone number so that they could be friends. He really wanted to see if he can get through to her, and I told him I'd been there and it was not a good call.
Do you know who her parent is?
I think no, not necessarily. Seems Norse though, maybe.
Hell.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds hellish.
Yeah.
Clint would have liked that. Clint would have really liked that one.
I'm gonna go get him.
Yes, we should find him before he entirely drowns himself in good times.
Asterope wanders away, and Clint, you are halfway to your companion's tonsils when Asterope kind of taps you on the shoulder.
Well, yeah. Yeah, what do you need, friend?
Your friends are looking for you. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's all right. Let me get a napkin here. Do I have any marks on my neck or anything?
Few, but I think it might take a little bit for them to go away.
Yeah, that'll happen. All right. Hey, Claudia, you want to come with me or you want to stay here for a minute?
I think I should give you and your friends some space, but I'll be around.
All right. If you see me, feel free to come and tag me, but, I'm going to find you before the night's over, too.
He just sort of grins and waves you away. And Karim, or not Karim, anybody who might be watching where Asterope went notices that as Clint moves to walk away, she is like rubbing her jaw like it might be a little bit sore. And like that might have been a little bit of a relief because she probably doesn't have the epic stamina and fortitude that Clint has.
Makes for long make-out sessions. Yeah, you guys are... Yeah, how y'all doing? Y'all enjoying the party?
Coda's having a great time.
Sounds like you are too.
Yeah.
So was Clint.
Yeah, I was a little bit distracted. Might have been, neck deep in something. Y'all need anything? Y'all okay over here?
I think
Just
maybe
making
Karim
sure everyone's doing all right.
Or that.
What was that, Karim?
Oh, you see him get a little bit sheepish. I was making sure everyone was all right, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing good. You all right, Karim? You look like you've been listening
Cracks
to
another
something.
beer. I'm at a party with interesting people. What could be wrong?
Is that beer going to do enough, or you want something better than that?
I've smoked as well. I will a little more.
All right, but if you decide you want to, feel fire in your belly, you let me know. We got some stronger stuff than that beer. We appreciate you bringing it, don't get me wrong. But you can have more than just what you brought. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I tried the corn ribs. It's impressive.
Oh, well, thank you. I worked real hard. Coda was the one that gave me the idea for that. You believe it? She's probably like the smartest one here.
I beg to differ. That's gonna be Mr. V.
Mr. B thinks he. Oh, hey, Oliver.
Hi.
You know, he likes to think he's real smart, but, he's only kind of smart.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, he's real good with his head, but not so much with. Well, you know what? I take that back. I've been seeing Oliver using more than just his head for the past few weeks. And I gotta say, he's quite a good heart thinker. He's feeling things. Aren't you, Mr. B?
Felt things, Clint. I just temper it with logic most of the time.
Yeah, but I mean, you're being more open and stuff. You're letting us know that you're feeling. We don't have to look at you so hard.
I've come to terms with things about myself, and I'm working to improve upon them.
Well,
Finally.
I gotta say, y'all are probably one of my favorite crews I ever done run with, and I love y'all.
It is about this time that all of you hear the high revs of a sports car. And it comes rapidly streaking into town, and kind of drifts around a corner in a manner that either the person driving it got exceptionally lucky or is very, very good at what they do, because they come within inches of hitting multiple cars.
Does this seem like an incoming threat or attack of some kind?
No.
Cool.
It is one car. It is a two-seater. If it's a threat, it's not a very big one for the number of people that are here.
One person can be a threat in this world, but noted.
But you're also surrounded by a number of demigods and a literal god. Not to mention all the dwarves. And it stops about 20 yards away, and as you all turn to look, the doors open and a couple of familiar faces climb out. These faces are very clearly Hispanic and are very clearly twins.
Oh.
Twins!
And their eyes kind of light up when they immediately spot Oliver and Coda, and the young woman kind of immediately runs over towards Coda specifically, like arms out, and kind of immediately kind of like almost pounces her in a hug. Hi! Oh my goodness, it's been so long. We haven't seen you in forever. And the last time we saw you, everything was so scary, and there were wolves, and you guys were driving, and the car was really fast, but our new car is faster. Our dad's really kind of crazy. Right. Sorry. Hi. Sorry. I'm excited. I'm sorry we missed the party. Most of it anyway. We were running late.
Wow, look at you guys. Coda's just gonna be like, as high as she is just gonna give them a big old tight, super squeezy hug, and just go, oh, you guys look so great. I'm so happy to see you're coming along. Are you guys eating well? You're enjoying your family? And she'll also go to Luke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then she'll go to Luke and go, oh, look at you. And also give them a big hug.
So the first thing that you notice about Luke specifically is that he has gone from, like, they were both in good shape, but they were obviously kind of underfed. They were not terribly well taken care of when you first met them. They were on their own, and they were definitely living a tough life, right? He is ripped now. You get the feeling that he was one of those people that when his Scion thing happened, he got a bit of a glow up. And a lot of that glow up was in the physicality department. He feels somehow bigger, and he has the same kind of like substance to him that Clint had. Where he is strong and seems pretty tough. and has a very like sturdy way of holding himself. They both have a number of tattoos. Some of them on their faces. His sister, on the other hand, looks to be built about the same, but has just a much more naturally she too seems like she got a glow up. It's just that it's more in the beauty department than the physicality department. Her skin is clearer, her eyes are brighter, her hair is silkier and longer, significantly longer. And it is laced through with beads, and she's wearing a pair of earrings that are made of feathers that like dangle well past her shoulders. And she is carrying a pair of curved knives on her hips. Her brother does not seem to be carrying a weapon, but the way that he's built, you have the feeling he's probably just a weapon on his own.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we're late. We were on our way here, and then our dad called and told us we needed to pick some stuff up to bring to you guys. And that sort of diverted us for a while.
Hakeem leans over to Oliver. Who are they?
That's Lily and Lucas. They're Scions that a bit back when we first realized we were Scions, had to go and rescue. It was kind of like a whole toddler leading the baby kind of thing. It worked out.
And now look at them.
Indeed. You guys look great. You said your dad needs you to bring stuff to us?
Yeah, we're here to give you your next labor.
Oh.
For our Pantheon.
Great.
Lovely.
I don't mean to interrupt, but and Clint stumbles forward and shoves his hand out. I'm Clint Brazos, and it's nice to meet you, the Scion of the Morgan. You say you got a job for us?
He's a new member of the band.
This is Clint. He's precious.
Hi, Clint. Nice to meet you. I'm Lillian, and this is my brother Luke, and we are Scions of Tezcatlipoca.
You know, the last Luke or Lucas I met was pretty cool, so it's nice to meet another. Good to meet you both.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, good to meet you too.
She's gonna lean over to Coda and whisper a little loudly, your friend seems real. Oh, you seem, oh, wow. It's a good party, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you could say it's open to you two. Just, how old are you guys?
They look old enough.
she kind of smiles, and then when Karim makes that comment, she smiles a little bit brighter. We are old enough.
Okay.
I'm Hakeem, the sober one.
This is
Why
not
are you asking them how old you are? Didn't you drink underneath the bleachers junior year?
You
Probably
Busted.
more than junior year.
Oh my god, shush everyone, thank you.
Junior year is when I figured out about
I'm
it.
trying to be
busted.
a good role model. God.
You realize what Pantheon we're from, right?
No, which one are you from?
Tezcatlipoca.
That's the god.
That's her dad. The Aztecs?
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
Atlante?
You know, I grew up a little north where y'all come from then.
We have a reputation.
For a shortage of giving fucks about anything, as I recall.
Indeed. But from what I've understood about your brothers and sisters, you are not unlike our family.
I mean, we might as well be siblings.
Oh, she was talking to Karim.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I'll like it or something be like, no, Clint, they're very different than us. Very different. Completely
Oh,
opposite
okay.
sides of the globe, in fact.
The sober people present would notice a slight narrowing of the eyes. It's possible.
Do you want to dance?
I do not dance, but I would
Oh.
happily get you drunk or stoned. I think there are mushrooms around here somewhere, and we can talk a little.
You want to dance just a little?
Even I danced.
That's
I'll
because
make
you are
you-
drunk.
I'll make you a deal.
That's true.
Be careful of deals.
Oh, yeah, we learned that.
They'll get ya.
State your terms.
If I can make you genuinely smile at least once, you have to dance with me. I'll even pick a slow song so that you don't stumble over your feet too much.
I think I might be able to fate bind this deal.
If you fail to make me dance, you must tell me a secret.
Not asking you for anything that serious.
You've never seen me dance. Fine. A fun secret.
A fun secret. I can live with that. By my standards, right?
Indeed.
Come on. My brother can give them their task, and she'll hold out a hand.
I will take it.
She's gonna start, she'll look at the others. Well, it was lovely seeing you again. I'm sure we'll talk again before we leave. I'm going to go try to make your cute friend laugh.
All right.
Fun.
Sensing
Drink your
movement.
water.
Sensing movement away from the group, Clint will start to stumble and follow them.
No, Luke will reach out and grab your shoulder.
Oh, okay.
I still have to give you your labor.
All right. Y'all got like water or something?
Coda hands her water over.
Oh, thank you.
What do you got for us, Luke?
You have been tasked with setting up a shrine to our pantheon at Cleveland Hospital.
Really?
Yes. To do so, you must confiscate a room where the numbers of the room add up to 13. Here is the number of a priest who can consecrate it once you have done so.
You want us to take a
Confiscate.
room?
It seems like multiple rooms because they got to add up to 13.
No. Rooms have numbers on the door. Those numbers should add up to 13.
So we can have room 10 and room 3 or room 11, room 10.
No, like room 265. You had 2 plus 6 plus 5.
Oh.
I see. I feel like I should have figured that out if I wasn't flastered.
You have to
Anyway.
confiscate the room, which means that you have to make sure that there isn't anybody in it anymore, and then contact the priest and he will consecrate it. And we have some holy relics that have to be there.
Does the priest do it like over the phone, or is he gonna come there?
No, he will show up when you call.
And
Alright.
where are the holy relics?
In the car.
In the car.
I will get them for you. Further, you will also have to find and designate someone in the hospital to maintain the shrine in the room that is built in the room, and to make sacrifices. Pray at it.
This isn't like they gotta kill someone in it, right?
They have to pray at the shrine, and whether you kill someone to take over the room is up to you.
You just said sacrifice, and I was concerned for a second.
Though if you're going to kill somebody, you should really make sure that you sacrifice the heart. Well, our father would like it.
Huh. Okay.
Does it gotta be a human heart?
That is preferred. Yes.
No. Oh,
I'm
no
just
guarantees
saying,
on that.
if you have to kill someone, and you have an extra heart lying around.
Well, I don't think we should go out of our way to kill people at a hospital.
Or we make sure the room we take is a room of someone that doesn't have long to live. And then... But that's all conversation
That, or we
for
just
later.
harvest a dead body that's already passed on.
No.
Can we just get an empty room? That way we don't have to kill nobody?
Well, I don't think we should. I think we should avoid
Yeah.
that. But if it happens to happen, or we happen to come upon a dead body, we'll do the thing for Poca.
Oh, sacrificing a body or a heart from a body that's already dead would not go over well.
No go?
You want something fresh.
Yeah, it's got to be...
Understandable.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Still not number one priority.
Okay, cool.
I'll
And
get the
someone
bag.
must maintain it. Okay.
Someone at the hospital must maintain and pray at it every day.
Okay.
All right.
And he makes his way over to the car, pops the trunk, which is, like most trunks in sports cars, almost non-existent. It's very tiny. And comes back with a black duffel bag, which he hands over. All of the pieces are in here. You'll have to put it together. It's not hard. They just sort of snap together.
All right.
Yeah, I can hold on to that for you.
Okay.
Mm.
He hands it over to Clint.
Clint, please be careful with that.
Yeah.
Not a reassuring statement.
Well, it smells like there's still food, and we are hungry. Or I'm hungry.
Have at it.
Looks like my sister has another kind of appetite at the moment, but I'm going to go get food.
Yeah, the only rule is if you go and get food, just go and say hi to Ganesha, let him know, because this party's for him.
Well, of course, it would be very rude for us to come and not introduce ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And he walks away.
You
Leaving
gonna go
the
talk to him.
Leaving the three of you alone.
All right, then.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Comparatively, sure, but we still have to somehow... I feel like the easy part is to set up this shrine in the room and get it consecrated. The hard part is getting someone to pray at it every single day.
Will we find someone? I think between the three of us, we can convince or find someone that wants to do that versus convincing someone to do it.
If it was good enough magic, I could force a chaos onto someone to do it, but that's out
No.
of right now.
I don't think we have to force a chaos. I think the chaos just kind of presents itself. You've seen fate, right? You like look and see
Mhm.
people's stuff.
I can manipulate fate.
Oh, you manipulate. I don't really manipulate it so much, but when I take a good look, you can usually see the chaos that's just waiting beneath the surface.
Well, that's the thing. I still need to be strong enough in the Tuatha form of magic, Enoch, to be able to bestow the chaos.
Oh,
It's-
I can handle that for you.
You can bestow a chaos on someone?
I mean, like I said, it's not quite bestowing. You're just letting them know they have it.
All right, then that's one way we can go about it. Give and take, give it the duty, the responsibility to pray at this altar every day, and they get something else in exchange.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Speaking of something in exchange, I gotta go deliver a bottle of Winners.
Oh, right. That. I really wanted to actually try this brandy, but sure, fine, here, have it.
Hey, it's okay. We can have a little sip before I give it to him.
No.
No, that would not be the right thing to do.
Well, you know, it's a party. They're probably going to pop it open so that we can try it too. Here, I'll set it aside. We can deal with that after we deal with our planning and stuff.
I feel like planning for it at this current state we're in is not the wisest way to go about it.
In the morning.
Yes.
What are you talking about? We're going to come up with a perfect plan tonight.
Clint, how about this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You come up with a phenomenal plan, a wonderful plan on your own. And if you wake up tomorrow and still think it's a great plan, you let us know.
Can I have help?
Sure. You can ask. You can phone a friend.
Yeah, okay. I'll go see if Claudia's got some ideas.
Sounds great.
All right. Clint wanders away. Coda and Oliver, what are you doing?
So, how have you been doing today, Coda? Other than, the whole getting ridiculously high thing?
Pretty good. Talking to Karim has been interesting.
Yeah, what have you learned about him so far?
Oh, about him? He's kind of like a protector, but also like a defender, but also a decisions maker kind of situation with him. Yeah, I want to talk to him more because we were talking about like, should people get a second chance or first chance, or we were talking a lot about stuff like that. And it was really cool to talk to him about it.
Yeah, different perspectives are always good. It's insightful to have different points of view, seeing why one person thinks they're right, why another person thinks they're right, and figuring out why those mindsets are there.
Yeah, and he's really guarded though.
I gathered.
Yeah, but it checks out. I don't want to say too much about him because everyone should have their own privacy and such. So, yeah, but I think I might talk to him later, hopefully.
All right.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself. I've already decided to cut myself off. You should do the same.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Your girlfriend, she, like... this, I've learned how to fly.
Like, through Scion stuff, or do you mean because her eye?
No. I mean, Scion stuff, I, like, fall very slowly when I'm in the air, but, like, no, this is, like... Yeah, no, she gave it, like, a nice little touch, and it, like... I see why you like her so much, because if this is what she could do with, like, weed, I can't imagine, like, Well,
I can't say that's the reason, specifically why I like her so much, but it's certainly a perk.
Yeah.
Asterope, who is literally standing 2 feet away, is just...
Oh, I thought she left.
Did she?
I don't know. I thought I could have misunderstood. I thought she left because she didn't want to be
they just
around
forgot
Karim.
she was there.
Yeah, you guys just sort of you're talking about her, and she's like right there, but like she's not hanging on you because Karim was there, and she was trying to be less conspicuous. So she's just in the background, kind of smiling to herself as she's getting all of this praise and saying nothing.
Yeah, it's just Dakota will turn to her and go, "You're amazing, and I'm really happy that you're here with Mr. B."
Put a hand on Coda's shoulder. I really appreciate you for saying that, Coda, but what do you mean that I'm here with myself?
What?
Never mind.
You are so cute when you're drunk.
Oh, I thought you went to go get Clint. And then
I
got
did,
you to do that.
and I brought him back, and
Yeah, she's been here. Bro, you're gone.
I'm aware of this now, more than I was before. Yeah, I'm cut off.
yeah. Let's go
I'll
get
leave
you
you
some
to
water,
do it.
honey.
Lead
Don't
the
mind
way.
me. I'll go sit somewhere and stare into the sunset.
Coda?
Don't go off on your own. Either come with us or find someone you trust.
Yeah, why don't you come? Well, let's here. And she'll wrap one arm in Oliver's and the other arm in Coda's, and begin to lead you guys back through the party to get you to the point where she could get more water for both of you. And along the way, you guys run into Luke, who has a plate of food. And she sort of deposits Coda with Luke. And it's just like, here, you guys can catch up while Coda drinks her water and doesn't go wandering off. And she gives Luke a look, and Luke is like, yeah, sure. Maybe some more food too. Come on, Coda. And then Oliver is made to drink like a gallon of water before they head back to the Tuaha house.
Yep.
Perfect.
Sounds about right.
All right. Night wraps up. Everybody ends up in their respective places. Coda and Luke end up staying up late talking until Coda passes the fuck out from being really high and very full. Oliver and Esterope get back to Oliver's room. Things happen. Clint and Claudia, things happen. They don't really make it back to Tuaha house, but that's fine. They find their way into one of the rooms in another house that just happens to be empty. And nobody sees Karim or Lillian for the rest of the night. So, in the morning, the town is quiet. Most people seem to have left overnight. Ganesha did catch Clint and the rest of you before everybody kind of went off on their own. There were abundant thanks. Each of you were... he said a little blessing over each of you for luck. You each regain 1 point of legend.
Heck yeah.
For me, that's 2.
Yes,
Same.
for you, that's... For both of you, that's 2. And he expresses that he greatly enjoyed vegetarian Texas barbecue. He did not expect such a big party, but he is very grateful that one was thrown for him, and he promises that the next time you are in India, he will return the favor.
I'll hold you to it. You got a phone number, Mr. Ganesha?
Oh, no.
You do, in fact, get a phone number.
Awesome. Clint saves it and sends just one single text message with his name. That way, Ganesha knows.
Perfect. Okay. All that being said, the next morning, most people left at night or left like before the sun is up. You all wake up late because you were all plastered. When you get outside, the twins' car is gone.
Karim sitting on the porch.
Yep. And obviously the dwarves are not really around. They're probably down in the tunnels, where they're safe from the sunlight.
Well, do we need to clean up after ourselves?
I
imagine
usually
we
don't.
probably will.
Most of the cleaning, it looks like, was already done.
No.
You're in a literal village. It was just kind of one of those things where people just sort of grabbed one thing and then walked away with it, and most everything was already put away. Claudia comes kind of stumbling out, walking slightly bow-legged. Morning.
Morning. You can hold on to me. It's okay.
I'm
No.
fine. Seen my ride. And she's looking around, and you realize that the motorcycle that she came in on is not here.
No.
I happened to see where it went in the morning, or was it gone when I woke up?
It was not here when you woke up. And she kind of sighs a little bit, and she goes, "Oh, you fuck! It got restless. Fuck. It's fine." And she like sticks two fingers between her lips, and she whistles very sharply, very loudly. All of you with hangovers wince, including her. She also winces. And you hear a neighing noise. And around the corner comes a massive black horse.
Ah,
My ride doesn't do that.
What'd you say?
My ride doesn't do that.
Oh, he's on loan from me, da. He can, but he runs on water and stuff like that, and that's how I got here so fast.
I think it's really starting to say something though that just doesn't surprise me anymore. Sure, motorcycle turns into a horse. Why not?
I mean, there's a brand of motorcycles called Iron Horse, so it makes sense.
Horsepower.
Technically speaking, he can pass between worlds, but yeah.
How do you find him if he does that? Does the whistle work?
He doesn't get far. And like I said, he's only on loan. He's not really mine long term. I'm just borrowing him.
Oh, right, yeah.
Beast like that should be looked after. It's a special thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you mind if I get a little close to him?
You want to pet him?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you mind? Yes.
Yeah, Clint will approach and carefully interact with the animal in hopes of petting it.
Charisma and animal handling for anybody who wants to do that. Animal Ken, sorry.
I'm gonna keep off of that.
Oliver's like, no, I'm good. Thanks.
Animal's not my strong suit.
It is clear that this is more than just a normal horse. So, Charisma and animal Ken, please. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And one for my epic.
5?
That's 5, so 6.
And I got 2.
Coda?
7.
How did you get 7?
Oh, sorry, I was looking at
You and I
Karim's rolls.
Yep, we've reversed our roles here. I had 6.
Yeah, but like,
Okay.
you said 2. I was like, dude, I'm looking at like 50 on your roll alone. What do you mean 2? Do you have negative epic?
we switched the rolls by accident. All right, what do I
So
have?
Coda got 2 because you have two epics and charisma,
Yeah.
and you rolled no successes on the dice.
Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay, so you're just gonna spend the legend you just got. Got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's an important horse.
mm.
That's better. Okay, so that puts you at 4.
Perfect.
Much better. Okay. You are all able to give him a stroke. He is very clearly more than just a horse. There is a level of intelligence in his eyes that you don't typically encounter in horses. He has his head up. He's very proud. And there's just something kind of innately magical about him. It's hard to put your fingers on. Coda, he reminds you a little bit of Pele.
Okay.
And you remember Pele can also pass between worlds.
Gotcha. She has a solid moment of kind of like, all right, I see you.
You're a good horse. Keep up the good work. And Clint will just pat it.
I would offer you a protective blessing, but I feel like if it came to it, you would protect me.
He tends to do that. For those who would like possibly more information on him or Mananan or how all of that stuff fits together, you are welcome to make intelligence and occult or intelligence and academic rolls.
Nah.
I will do that.
I will too.
Oh my god.
That is a lot of ones, bro.
That's the worst I've ever rolled for that. That's a total of 4.
2 for me.
0 for me.
Okay. Clint, he's a very pretty horse.
Who's a good horse? Yes, you are.
And it seems to everybody else that he is basically tolerating the fact that Clint is treating him like a puppy. Because at the very least, Clint is doing like he's doing like the nose stroke and everything the right way instead of actually petting him like a horse.
God's friend is good people. Of course, he just has a lot to learn.
Karim, which role did you make? Is that just straight intelligence?
Occult.
Okay. What you remember, what little you know about the Tuaha is that Mananan MacLear, number one, is the god of the sea. And he has horses, multiple horses, that can draw his chariot or just carry him normally across the waves, and that is how he gets to their underworld. So it is safe to say that, yeah, this horse is the type that would probably end up protecting its rider as much as the rider would try to protect it. Oliver, what you remember is slightly more than that, but not by a lot. You remember that the entrance to Mogmel is off of the cliffs of Moor, but the entrance to the underworld that the Irish Pantheon has been using since Mogmel was lost is actually over the ocean. And it's kind of unclear exactly where, but that the only way to get to it is over the ocean. And that these horses can run at incredible speeds along the water to get to it. And that's how Mananan MacLear gets around. It's also how they pass from one world to the other. And there's a pretty good chance that they have like psychopomp powers inherent to them. Because Mananan MacLear is the god of the dead. So also the god of the sea. He's essentially the Irish ferryman, for reference.
Yeah, interesting.
You also know that he is older than the Tuaha are. Nobody really knows what pantheon he came from, and he certainly doesn't talk about it. But he was basically grandfathered into that pantheon in a similar way to how Dionysus and Persephone were grandfathered into the Greeks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there's a very good chance that this horse has been around even longer than, like, your father has. Or as part of a line that's been around since before your father has been.
Well, it's certainly a interesting horse. I can say that much. A lot of history there. Very exciting that you get to have it on loan, I guess, from your father.
Well, I said I wanted to come to the party, and this was the only way I was going to get here in time, so In the future, Clint, you should really let me know like a couple of weeks in advance if you want something like this to happen, if not months.
Oh, yeah, of course. It was one of them tasks, and we were kind of in a rush to make it a good one. But next party I throw, I'll make sure you get a heads up well in advance.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
All right, well, he is on loan. I've got to get him back to me, da, and I have a bar to get back to.
Well, tell your pa I said hello.
Are you in? And she walks
Travel
over.
safely.
Thank you. She walks over and she runs a hand along the horse's neck and kind of murmurs something to him in Irish Gaelic, which Oliver understands is basically just her saying, "Let's go home." And the horse kind of tosses his head and gives a little snort. And as he does so, you guys watch as it shrinks in on itself and kind of begins to like go a little hazy as it does so. And when the vision of it settles again, it is that black motorcycle that she was on the day before. And it's already running, and it's like that snort that it gave is actually it almost sounds like it effectively turned into an engine purring. She climbs on, grabs her hair and puts it in a loose braid, and then shoves her helmet on and kind of gives everybody a little wave. Thank you for the invite. It was nice.
Thank you for coming. It was good to see you again.
Nice to meet you.
Tell Dolgrim it was nice to see him as always, and that I left Betty a gift in the kitchen.
Last time I did that, I got in a little bit of trouble, but hopefully it's a better gift than I gave her. You be safe out there, okay?
You too. You're the one doing the dangerous stuff.
Yeah, but if I'm being safe, that means I ain't doing my job. Wait, if I am being safe, I ain't doing my job.
That's true.
He got there eventually.
It took me a second.
As she revs the bike and pulls away. And you guys watch as she turns it towards the entrance to town, but before she ever gets to the entrance, there's a moment where the world goes a little bit hazy in front of her, and then it winks out of existence.
Wow.
Hey, Karim, can your car do that?
Not exactly. I just,
I was about to ask what's so funny.
it's a seahorse.
Oh,
Wow.
Well-
Clint extends the fist for the fist bump.
Absolutely.
don't reward that. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Now
I'm
that
rewarding every single pun I hear.
okay, great. Now that we're awake and now that we have clearer heads, we should discuss what we're actually going to do about that labor. But beforehand, just give me a quick few minutes. I'll be right back. And
Nothing.
yeah,
Coffee, yes.
I'll probably grab some of that as well. But yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab Astrope and ask to speak with her in private really quick.
Okay. She is inside and seems to be watering the plants throughout the Toaha house.
Hey, I'm not disturbing you right now, am I?
No. Just saw that they needed it and thought I would help. And she kind of trails a finger along one of the petals to one of the flowers, and the flower kind of immediately perks up at her touch.
Well, I just wanted to say quickly, now that I'm not horribly inebriated, about yesterday and what you told me when it came to Karim. I just wanted to say thank you for being very open and honest with me about it. It meant a lot.
Of course. I'm just glad you're not mad.
No, of course not. It's just, I don't know how to put this. It's just, a while back, when I was still in high school, I didn't have a lot of friends. I had two very important friends to me. And something happened. I sort of got feelings for one of them, and so did my other friend. She found out and decided she didn't want to deal with that. She didn't want to mess up our dynamic or anything, and we all agreed to stay as friends. Now, I later found out that she went back on that, and the two started dating behind my back. And I wasn't mad that they were doing that. I was upset that they lied and betrayed me over it. So I just wanted to make it clear that I don't mind your history and what you've had with Karim. I just really, really appreciate you letting me know rather than letting that remain a secret. It just truly meant a lot.
Oh,
was that too much? Should I not have said all that?
No, it's good. I like learning about you. I'm glad. I'm glad that you're not mad, and I will. The next time we run into somebody that I've had a history with, I won't keep it quiet.
Great. I just want us to be completely open and honest with each other. And
yeah, I just feel like there's going to be a lot more honesty on my side of this equation. And
that's
I'm
fair.
worried
that's
your patience
fair.
will run out.
I'm in a band with Clint. I don't think that's possible.
Give it time.
Well, we'll see. Just thank you again, and I should really get back to actually planning our next labor. But
yeah, about that, you guys have to go to Cleveland, which is kind of in the opposite direction of where I have to go. So I made a call. And well, I'd say I made a call, but they were here. I just called over to one of the other houses.
Go back with Damon?
Yeah, I think that might be safest.
Yeah, absolutely. You should do that.
Plus, I'm a little homesick. I miss my grove.
Of course. I will call you every morning and every night.
Okay.
Unless that's too much.
No, that's good.
Okay. You're awesome, by the way.
I try.
I'll smile, kiss on the cheek really quick, and then run to the kitchen, grab coffee, and then go join the others.
Okay.
See, I try not to drown them in attention. Is the thing. That Aztec girl. What was her name?
Lillian.
Super nice.
Lillian?
Lillian. Very cool. Hot. Sorry.
Are you gonna? You should talk to her.
I think they talked a lot yesterday.
We didn't really.
I'll walk back outside with my mug of coffee. Yeah, how did that go?
It went
you made
good.
Like a deal, didn't you?
Oh, the deal. You're asking who won our bet?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's say we were both winners.
Clint extends the fist bump.
The different kind of bet was the horizontal mambo, or the different kind of dance.
But what I'm saying is, I probably won't call her. We'll see each other again at some point, and it'll be like, hey, you. I feel like women and Scion women so often have so much to deal with that a suitor just constantly on them can be overwhelming.
That's overwhelming? Like just being like checking in on them and stuff?
You disagree?
No. I'm asking. Do you think that's overwhelming on another?
That depends on how much you do it. Are they doing your emotional labor? Or are you figuring out what you want and then going to them and saying, hey, you're it?
Sounds kind of like tag.
I'm not sure. So what's this labor we have to do?
Take a long
Sounds like you have labors of your own there, friend.
Coda clears her throat.
Right. Yes, so we have the labor. We need to go to the hospital, confiscate a room. Adds up to 13. Let's just review here. Got to put this holy relic together. That you still have that, right, Clint? You didn't lose it or break it?
Have what? What?
The duffel bag you were given.
Clint looks around and pats the side. Yeah, I got the duffel bag right here. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. mhm.
In your pocket.
You definitely do not have the duffel bag.
He's, it's not in my pocket. I maybe it's in the room.
Oh, I really hope it is, because otherwise we've already... Why did I let you keep it? Never mind. It's probably around here somewhere. Point is, we need to put that together, put it in the room, and then somehow find someone to look after the shrine and pray at it every day.
Yeah, that seems easy enough.
It's possible. People light candles for people. And it's a hospital. Like, that's like the prime place to pray for someone.
I think, yeah, our best course of action will probably be to have a loose plan going in, scout out the hospital once we actually get there, and figure out our best candidate would probably be someone who, will be there every day. So a doctor, nurse, maybe even like cleaning staff. I think that might be easier, because then sort of when they're just doing their rounds, they can just pop in, pray, clean up the place as part of their job, and it would be far simpler. But any person who's there on a daily basis would probably be our best bet.
Uh-huh.
Are
It's just-
y'all
Again,
good
we
at
have to convince
numbers?
them. What was that, Clint?
Are y'all good at numbers?
Yes.
Hence.
Well, do y'all know how many floors the hospital is? Because if we know that, we can kind of like make a little checklist, right?
I mean, depends. It varies based on hospital to hospital, but if they have several floors, yes.
Well, yeah, but if we're looking for things that add up to 13, we figure out how many floors, kind of figure out how many rooms per floor. It lets you know, like, hey, you only have to check 2 rooms per floor or something, you know?
Sure. It's just the more levels there are, the more options we'll have, essentially.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a real short hospital.
No, you want a tall hospital,
Why?
right? Because the first number in the sequence being higher means you have more wiggle room with the second 2.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that means more options, yeah.
Yeah, we want more options, because then we have more rooms to pick from that'll be suitable and better to work around, rather than being forced on a single one that might not be super easy to use.
Well, I'm glad I asked you the question, and like I said, I'm not so good with the numbers. That worked out pretty well.
All right.
So, do you guys want a lift?
Of course.
That would be nice.
Yes, please.
You got room?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can take the mattress.
I was actually going to suggest the professor take the mattress and maybe put a blindfold on, because here's the thing.
Right.
I take it alone. I only travel alone. I don't know if any occupant knowing his location will affect the ability to transport.
We'll give it a try. I recommend having the blindfold on me and then sort of confusing me as to where we are a good bit, and then it should maybe possibly work then.
Yeah, we'll just spin you around.
No, I meant like once we get in the car. You can spin me around all you want, but if I'm in the car, I'm still going to know the location of the car.
Right. Plan B. There's still a lot of drugs around here.
And on that note, we're going to call it for the evening. Thank you for joining us, everybody.